Yeah, Curtis, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on.
No worries, thank you for coming on. Just a quick little promo. Me and CareerModeStars have partnered up, and I'd just like to say thank you. And this podcast is going to be supported by him, so if you don't follow his page on Twitter and Instagram, there'll be links in the description box below. Go check them out. Most of you guys will already know who they are listening. And if you like your career mode, if you need any news, info, anything regarding career mode, go check them out. Like I said, links in the description box below. But yeah, let's get into it. Curtis, how are we doing?
Not too bad. Had a little stressful day, but yeah, everything is all good now.
Everything's all good in the hood.
Oh, thankfully.
I'm sure we've got a lot of things we could talk about, and we could go for ages and ages and ages. I'm sure we could.
Yeah. But it must start somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to start somewhere, obviously. Where? I mean, I'm asking the questions, even I don't know where to start.
When the interviewer becomes the interviewee.
I mean, yeah, if you want to ask me questions, then go ahead.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, Curtis has taken over, guys. Oh, all right. How's your YouTube life treating you at the minute?
Actually, you know what? Not too bad. I feel like I've made this kind of like connection between if my personal life starts like falling apart and going to tatters, then my YouTube starts becoming golden. So
I see.
Everybody like loves, for instance, the Burton Albion save. When that was happening, I kind of nearly got rejected for university, whilst everybody else in my college got. Everybody else in my college got accepted. We were doing this foundation degree, and we were supposed to like go straight into university. Everybody got accepted apart from me. I was like, oh, okay, so yeah. And then what happened is the Burton Albion series. Which was just
kicked off.
Oh god! And like, yeah, everything seems to revolve around if I'm having a not very good time outside of YouTube, then my YouTube is pretty much buzzing. Every single video is like not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works out. Maybe I'm not thinking about it that much. That's why it just like it's pretty organic. But I have no idea. Like the sub growth itself, it's not that great. I'm not even gonna deny it. It's not that great, but the viewership on the videos is phenomenal. So the subs that I've got right now want to keep watching Youth Squad Legends, and that is very important to the successfulness, the overall successful
the overall quality.
Feeling.
I see.
Just through the series, because you don't want, like, if you have a first episode that gets like 200, 300,000 views, I've never had that, but if it starts off really well and then tapers, then you're like, because you might have like
what have I done wrong?
Yeah, you might have a really good episode right at the end, but no one's watching it.
Yeah.
So it's like. It's getting that.
It's more about retention, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think I learned a lot of that by screwing up the Youth Squad Legends last season. So I started the Lincoln one like 3 times. So by the third time, not really anybody, like hardly anybody was watching it.
Some people have given up on it.
Oh, they've given up. Yeah, they've given up easily. Yeah. So I learned a lot from that and just took it to Macclesfield. And
Sorry, so you're talking about at the start how maybe your YouTube seems to be doing a lot better when personal things maybe aren't going your way, or was Lincoln a time where that was affecting your personal life, was affecting the quality and the creation of the Lincoln series, or was that just completely something else?
No, it was the Lincoln series. At the moment, I would call right. Okay, the Lincoln series personally was a huge success for me, but as a viewer based series, it's probably a failure. You look at how everything happened with it, struggling to get views occasionally, but it came at a time where everything was all right in my personal life. So every time that I gave it time, I concentrated on it to make sure it was living. It lived on all the way to the end, where it was on life support from like episode 40 onwards. Really was.
We can get to this later on, because I do want to ask you about individual YSLs and your opinions on each series and your favourites, etc. But regarding the Macclesfield one at the minute, if we go back to what we were talking about before, the viewer retention on it, for me, even just as like more of an outsider now than what I used to be watching your channel, because obviously I've grown up.
Yeah.
I don't come in from school at 4 o'clock and sit down and watch 6 hours of YouTube anymore. I don't have that quality time now.
That's the life, mate.
Yeah, it is. It is. I took it for granted fully. I'm sure a lot of people listening will probably miss them days, them Friday evenings where you're up till 4 in the morning, just on the Xbox, you know.
Heroic.
They were. The Macclesfield save, as I was saying before, the retention on it and the quality. I think the quality of the Macclesfield save, you know, with regards to you've maybe switched your editing style up a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, the past. I think you did it on the Lincoln series, didn't you? You started using face cam. Just the little things like that. It brings in the viewers and it just adds another dimension of the video.
Yeah. So we started face cam, and we started face cam a lot earlier than that. It was like at Yeovil. The difference with that being that by Lincoln, I was way more comfortable. Mocking myself, making me part of the joke. If I would try and like distance myself from the jokes because I was a little bit nervous, and I didn't really want to be taken the mick of. But I realised with like the mess that was going on with Lincoln, it's like I've got to do this. I've got to jump in. I cannot take. There's no prisoners. Absolutely no prisoners. Anything funny that I can put in. If it's about me, if it's about this series, I'm putting it in. And thankfully,
it needs to go in.
Thankfully it worked out. So there was when Lincoln happened, there was way more confidence. Like, I don't think if the opportunity arose to go to Germany to do the Game Changer stuff came before Lincoln, I don't think I would have done it, because I'm terrified of flying. Like, we are talking.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I did see. Obviously, you're only going to defeat your, what you're scared of by doing it.
Exactly.
That's how I think anyway. And obviously, it's worked. Yeah. I mean, you went to Germany. The confidence level and the like how much the viewers see you enjoy in the series has increased so much. And you can literally see that from sitting down and watching a few minutes of a Macclesfield episode. That's from day one all the way through to now.
Yeah. No, I mean, mate, to be fair, with the amount of time I have to plough into it off camera, I better make the most of it on camera. You know, like, I genuinely sit down and appreciate a football game, because the only good one on the market right now, you can't play. You just can't. You can't play as in, like, move the players about the pitch.
Yeah.
So
for anyone that doesn't know, I'm guessing we're talking about
Football Manager. Right, yeah, of course. Sorry, I do apologise.
Pro Evolution.
That's changed a bit if you can't move the players around.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So
there will be some people out there.
Yeah. So sorry. For people that don't play Football Manager, I personally think it's miles above anything at the moment. The only problem is that you play Football Manager, enjoying it. No doubt you're enjoying it. It's just it does not compare with actually playing with the players. That's where the personality of the players comes out.
And the
relationships
grows,
exactly.
Yeah,
by things that they do on the pitch. Mm-hmm. With it's.
I mean, if you look at your series through the years, the the ones that stick out are the ones that have the players, you know, specific players, the personalities, and that links with you enjoying it.
Yeah, character development is massive for for Youth Squad Legends. The big one being Burton, where we had like these just massive characters. Pennington would crush people. Jamie Moore Taylor just doesn't like anything exciting, and Rosenberg was Rosenberg. And we're completely forgetting players like Gwee, Matip, these special players that came through that series that everybody loves. Of course, it was helped by the game itself being all right. FIFA 15 was an all right game, and we kind of didn't understand how bad the AI underestimation was at that time. That kind of hindered the rest of the games going up to FIFA 19. So, yeah, it was a good time. And then FIFA 16 was absolutely shocking. Like, gameplay-wise, it was awful. So you couldn't really make anything of that. But moving on, like I've realised the importance of character development. And it started as soon as we did, like, Yuko Ike's Haiku Chronicles.
Yeah, it's another thing that links back to the retention in the series.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you look at the Macclesfield team now, I'm sure you've pretty much got Twitter pages for half of the team, haven't you?
They're all of them. All of them have been taken. Like, it's
every player.
It's madness. Yeah. So people.
That is crazy.
People. There was this one time where we had about 6 people wanting player accounts, so we had a holding pattern. We genuinely had a holding pattern for new players, and thankfully that's now like dwindled off because I signed like tons of great names. But it has been mad. Like the fact that people want to enhance the series like that and make a Twitter account for the players, that's special in itself. And I really enjoy like looking at my Twitter feed and just seeing random posts from my own players. It's just like, right. And you know, talking like this is the first time that I realise how mad that is, by the way.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like having just a random save and then all of a sudden you're on Twitter and going, that's
the guy I've created.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it is special. It is very special. Obviously, I tweeted yesterday saying, "Oh, you were coming on the podcast. Has anybody got any questions?" And the amount of replies I got regarding player accounts and just memes from the series, it was probably more than general questions.
Oh no, it is.
I got.
It's just that's the thing. Like Youth Squad, I never would have thought 5 years ago, even less time than that Youth Squad Legends it would be a series that is just like memes, meme creation, and a bit of FIFA on the side.
Yeah,
it's like FIFA is
FIFA's definitely secondary to it all now.
Oh yeah, it's backseat. Oh, it's gone. Like it's been carried.
I think the fact that you've obviously added the face cam and a lot more of a personality side of it, like within yourself, not regarding the players, but I think that links quite well into keeping the retention up, because when me and Niran were speaking, we were saying that people don't want to watch the old school career mode series where you take a team and you do 50 episodes and you win the Champions League. People don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
So the fact that obviously Niran and Jared have had really good success doing different things, you know, doing the what ifs and what if this happened in career mode. And obviously Jared's the experiments, and Jared's obviously been doing a lot of the rebuilds. It's a different concept of career mode now, but you're probably, from the top of my head, the one that's successfully creating a story and keeping a real good amount of people interested in FIFA still. Yeah, because obviously at the end of the day, you're still playing FIFA.
Yeah, of course. Like I was watching the episode that Nuran was on, the podcast that Nuran was on, and it made me realise how lucky I was to have this, because I know that Like, the what-ifs and the experiments and the rebuilds, they're all fine. I know how much Jared has to work to get a rebuild out. I can imagine that for Nurin, it's an absolute pain in the backside to try and think of new and interesting experiments every single time. And for me, it's just like, I wonder what they're going to do now. Like, of course, it's way more than that, and we'll probably get into detail of, like, what goes into each episode or each season of Youth Squad Legends, but it all boils down to me sitting down per episode, playing a few games of the same career mode, and watch it, letting my fans really enjoy just a story. Yeah. And I'm super lucky to still have that when you say that there's a lot of people struggling, a lot of really talented YouTubers struggling to keep interest.
Yeah, people that have been doing it for years and years.
Of course.
You know, and we'll talk about this later on, but it really, it kind of proves that the game isn't going in the right direction.
No.
If we talk about career modes.
It's shocking. To be fair, I would even argue that it's not going in the right direction all over the place. Like, I don't think it's going in the right direction in any aspect, and that's why I'm really worried, because there's only so much that people will take of this. You still there?
I think. Yeah. I'm just listening to it. I'm interested in your point.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. I think there'll be a segment. What we need a segment for that.
Yeah, there'll be a podcast number 2, 3, and 4. The thing is, though, obviously, you can look at, from EA's side or point of view, you can look at it as creators making content on their game, and you can also look at it from where, you know, the normal person, as in us, see it as, especially these bigger YouTubers that, you know, their lives depend on it, their livelihoods depend on this now.
Yeah.
And it's just not working. It isn't working. And like you said, there's a lot of people really, really struggling at the minute, and it's just not fair.
Yeah, I agree. I think
it's far from fair, because, like, I literally just watched before we started. Come on, I rewatched your "Don't buy FIFA 19" video, or why you shouldn't buy FIFA 19.
Yeah.
And a really good point you made, which I've kind of thought about in the past, is maybe. As Ultimate Team has microtransactions, that should be its own separate game as a free-to-play. And people that buy the actual physical copy, say, that is where that money is invested into the career mode section, into the pro club section.
Well, that would make some sense, wouldn't it? I've never been one to separate the two games. I wouldn't like that at all. But I think that might be a way forward. If they want to... You know what else it could be? I'm seeing the fact that they're having trouble with gameplay-wise. They want, on one part, for it to be interesting and rewarding for online players. But every time that they try and do that, it changes the gameplay for the players that are playing career mode, you know, playing against AI players. Yeah. Then if they do anything to improve it for the players who are playing AI, because they actually have done that this year, which, good on them, they've tried to make it work for both. But every time that they try and make it work for one, it actually makes it worse for the other.
Yeah, it's like they can't get the balance right.
So thinking about it like that, it might be better if they split it up, because then they might be able to release a set for the free-to-play Ultimate Team, what everybody can download, and then your FIFA 19 that is just career mode and pro clubs can be a different set. That would be nice, personally.
Mate, what if they... Obviously, talking about career mode, pro clubs comes into this because there hasn't been much... Well, anything change in pro clubs for longer than career mode, I'd say.
Yeah.
What obviously pro clubs is, you know, it's an online game mode. So would that fall into the category of of the offline section, or would you have to maybe keep that on the Ultimate Team side of things, or maybe just have like a FIFA Online free to play, and then maybe a different like physical copy of maybe like a FIFA Manager,
right?
Or FIFA Manager mode. What are your views on that?
I think Pro Clubs is all right on either. Hear me out on this one. It doesn't matter how the game plays on Pro Clubs, unless it's seriously favouring like a low man team in terms of like AI defending. If it's very AI defensive based, then no one wants to see that. But
yeah, if you're playing like 2v2 and everyone's playing up front,
and you can't even get through AIs. That is no. I remember it being like, I think it was FIFA 17 where that was a big issue. But right now, say take the game right now, okay? AI defending is a little bit overpowered, not on Pro Clubs. There is, like, AIs can do certain stuff that human-controlled defenders can't do. However, you'd much rather have a human-controlled defender because of the simple stuff that they could do. It's more like making sure that if you've got an 11-man, that you've got a serious advantage if you can play well. So, and of course, if it's 11v11, which hopefully that's where the competitive side of things will eventually go in FIFA.
Eventually. Fingers crossed.
If it's 11v11, how much of the gameplay really works out there? Because every single player...
Yeah, it's completely random,
every single player is controlled then, and it's just like the gameplay is literally down to shots, isn't it?
I think if it's 11v11, then I think they'd have to work on the way that the animations work, because sometimes in Pro Clubs you do see some really random stuff. Yeah.
So I'm not saying like, oh, forget about Pro Clubs. I'm just saying that gameplay-wise, especially if you're a high-man Pro Club, it's a lot less important. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would love for them to scrap time finishing and go back to a system where you shoot when you've got proper control of the ball, or you're making an angle. Like, actually, like, understand angles and like
physics.
Yeah. But yeah, basically that.
You know, like, real life.
Yeah, there was a push for that. I think it was FIFA 16 when they had Pele. You know, on that E3 stage. When you come out. Yeah, I took the mick out of that a lot, but that game actually built a very nice finishing system.
Platform. Yeah.
And it's more like, because time finishings are nothing. It doesn't reflect football. It doesn't reflect football at all.
All it reflects, it's I'm sure they brought it in because they wanted to create a skill gap, but there is no skill gap in being able to press the button when it's in the green.
Yeah.
And even when it isn't, you still be able to score from ridiculous angles from ridiculous animations, like 180 finesses into the top corner.
Like, it should always be, if a ball... So, for instance, give you an example. If a ball is dropping 25 yards out on the half volley, then there's got to be a percentage to that, and then there's also a percentage to how the player you're going to shoot with is approaching the ball, how much pressure is on the player. I mean, so if there's little pressure on him, but he's shooting it at a very awkward angle, then he's got more of a chance of putting it on target than when he's got serious pressure on him. If he's approaching it like really well, like dead on, or it's just bouncing right. We get that. We get the terminology a lot in real life football. If the bounce is just dead on, then there's got to be a high percentage of him hitting it properly. Of course, there's always going to be times, or there always should be times, where the shot just skews off. That's football.
Yeah, it goes rosette.
Yeah, that's football, man.
I think the player statistics should come into gameplay a lot more, especially offline, because you grow your players, you're training them up, for specific attributes to grow. So if we're talking about shooting, as in, you know, it should be based on more, you know, real time, how much pressure, etc. How you just say, and you know, stats like composure, ball control, all of them have got to come into play.
Yeah, and then on the pro club side of things, you're talking about a striker's movement, a striker's awareness to situations. It all builds up into this, like, the true footballing game that everybody wants. Instead of this
total football.
Yeah, instead of this awful time finishing malarkey. Like, I understand. I can give him credit for trying something new. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked out. Let's put it in the bin. Let's go to get something like different into the game.
The thing is, though, do you think that they'll scrap it?
I hope so. Because
I mean, I think
they were on the right lines only a couple of years ago. I don't know where that's gone.
I mean, EA are known for going backwards. We all know that, Curtis, in multiple aspects of the game. I reckon the thing is, I think all you have to do is look at the pro tournaments on Ultimate Team and see some of the goals being scored.
Yeah,
like, you know, every year they're like, we've improved dribbling and player physics. You know, you can pass more smoothly and the gameplay is more realistic. But then you have, you know, 60-year-old Pele doing 180 finesses from 40 yards out to the top corner. You know, and people are watching this, like, real people are winning thousands of pounds playing this game.
I think,
and it just
the people. There's a lot of people that are there for the rewards on Ultimate Team. Actually watching it for the rewards, but I'm sure that, like, there's a percentage that are actually really interested.
Interested. There's going to be
FIFA.
people that. Yeah, there's going to be people that think, you know, I could be there one day.
So
you know, you see in the last tournament, I'm sure the guy that won it was 16.
Yes.
17 maybe.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Tex. Tex is the only one. I don't know if it was Tex who won the tournament, but Tex is one of the professional guys that is the only one that doesn't always do the finesses, which for me is, like, just huge. Like, that guy's got all my respect for not constantly, like, abusing the game. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I love that thing, and I think the only time that I took FIFA seriously was, like, in 2010. I went into a tournament for the FIFA Interactive World Cup, or it's called the E-World Cup or something like that now. I can't remember what it's called now. And qualified. I won the Sheffield tournament and qualified for the UK tournament. But I was garbage in the UK tournament. But I think what got me through the Sheffield tournament, where I was playing against a few pros who was trying to qualify as well, is that I came in and I was playing the game way differently compared to everybody else. Everybody else was playing with Chelsea were really strong at that point. I think Real Madrid.
Man City.
No, Real Madrid had just got Ronaldo. They were pretty strong. I don't know. I just played with my Man United side and just had some fun, and thankfully it came off. But to do it, obviously, it's different aspects now. Like, now they're playing for big money, and to do it on that stage, because I was just doing it for the fun of the game. And
for just enjoying playing it.
I got some great time out of it. I went to the Emirates for the UK final, and I went to the Guildford headquarters just to play an early build of the World Cup 2010 game. And it were mint. Like, that as a FIFA fan was massive. I didn't do anything in the tournament. I don't care. I really didn't care. That was massive.
It was the experience.
Yeah, but these guys are playing for their livelihoods, and for Tex to do that, to not always resort to the easiest way to finish. I think it's actually been nerfed a little bit in the last patch, but it just needs to be binned anyway.
Yeah, it's questionable still. Yeah. And I think as long as it is in the game, it will be.
Yeah, but he gets my dying respect, man. Like, that kid's just massive just for that.
I don't watch much, any.
No, I don't, mate. I don't.
Competitive pro clubs, so I'm not too aware of the players. But yeah, like, so time shooting. We both agree. Just sack it off.
I think, yeah, get it gone. Wouldn't you rather have the system that I tried to say to you though? Just awareness.
It was so much better. To be honest, I mean, I don't play with time finishing on now, even in career mode. So
I turned it off.
It still feels quite the same, you know. But no, I understand what you're saying. The physics were there, and just the idea they had on the whole animation, shooting, you know, being in the right area. Because they made a big deal about it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
A couple of years back.
I swear, I think it was. There was the tagline for the game that they were advertising, which I'm pretty sure was I'm pretty sure it was FIFA 16. It was all about getting the right finish, being in the right place, and it's like that is crucial to being a real footballer. So why would it be any different to playing a football game?
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Yeah.
It was rewarding, wasn't it? I mean, all you have to say is if you look at the, I know the game was a little bit ridiculous then, but look at Rosenberg.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of enjoyment you got from scoring all them great goals of him, it's different to how the game is now.
Oh yeah, I don't think I would have the same enjoyment if I hit green time finishes all the time, because it is so overpowered.
I think it's just tedious as well, because you know.
But don't get me wrong, long shots were overpowered on FIFA 15 when Rosenberg was around. But
I don't think overpower's the word.
Exactly. But the thing is, even when they were overpowered, there were still people in the comment sections that were just amazed by this kid. So I'm right, that's good. Yeah,
the thing was as well, it just seemed to be him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you had your other players Matip comes to mind for me, but no one scored free kicks, long shots like he could.
Well,
so
maybe free kicks. Jamie Moore Taylor would like a word.
Yeah, Taylor as well. Yeah. Was he left-footed?
I think so. That's probably why I put him on the left-hand side, because he was a centre-back to start off with, but he's too short.
Yeah, you love changing the plays around, don't you? I mean, Harvey Hall's one.
I think this is a swift transition now to why have you done it so much in this series?
Well, yeah, cheat engine. Yeah. We'll have a chat about that. How come? What position did Harvey Hall start as? Was it right back?
He was a right back all the way through the series. Yeah.
Obviously, you couldn't change it.
Yeah.
In FIFA 18.
It's probably the start of my obsession with trying to get an editor into the game, because it's like, this guy is clearly not a right back. It's like you put a bit of finishing on him, and he's an absolute monster up front. You do not want this guy to be a right back at all.
Yeah, if we talk about the academy in FIFA at the minute, in the base career mode, obviously the cheat engine, you could go off and do whatever you like near enough. There seems to be, I don't know if it's still the same in FIFA 19, but in FIFA 18 there was a massive problem with getting loads of fullbacks from your scout report, wasn't there?
Yeah. Youth academy wise,
the whole thing is a little bit.
You get. I don't even know where to begin with that. My knowledge has got smaller over the last couple of years, because I've tended to not use the youth academy that much. I still know a crazy amount about it. It's just that it's so needing work, it's so needing attention, that it's broken beyond repair at some stage. And regens are a little bit more interesting and a little less broke, so that's probably why I tend to move on to them. But you scout one position, say for instance, you try and scout an attacker, you get loads of wingers back. I do understand, they're still kind of attackers, but you also have a winger type. So why aren't the wingers going?
Why are the wingers on attackers?
It just boggles the mind, mate.
On a video that you've made, on the same video I mentioned earlier of why not to buy FIFA 19 or why you shouldn't buy FIFA 19, you did obviously speak about past FIFAs and your experiences with them through the years, and I'm sure if it wasn't FIFA 07, it was definitely a couple of FIFAs, newer than that, where you could scout specific positions.
Could you?
So I'm sure I've seen
I think you might have been
video
able to
or a
do
tweet
that.
somewhere.
I think you might have been able to do that on FIFA 07. I think.
Yeah, if you go into the youth academy, you could scout for a striker, a cam, a right back or a left back, a CDM, goalkeeper specifically.
In its fairness, compared to what we have now, I think I would still rather have now. And that I'm serious with that. The reason for it is that what you got in FIFA 07 is you could upgrade your scout manager or scouting team
staff.
Yeah, you could upgrade staff. So you had a slider that you paid for basically. And then you could just go, I want a player of this position from this country, and then they just go. But now you can hire specific scouts. You can go to a specific country. You go for a player type, which is fair enough. That's more. That's
when
more
you're scouting,
likely.
it's quite broad, isn't
it? That's more likely, isn't it? If you want like a physically commanding player, then you can go for physically strong. And they'll bring you back certain positions that you would like physically strong players in. I would like also for them to bring like specific positions into that scouting. It's just that if you compare that one to that one, I would much rather have the one that we've got now.
Yeah, like we just said, the academy that we've got now it's like a good concept, but it's just not. It's just not completed very well, is it?
It's broken. It's
and
not worse.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand with a lot of other features in the game, as in the pre-season tournaments. Massive buzz about it. Could be a lot better. The global scouting network, which I know you despise.
Can we talk about that for 5 minutes?
Yes, of course. But you just think everything that they've added into the game recently and made a big buzz about, it's just broke. Even the Champions League is broke. You can put your team in the Champions League and the Europa League in the same season.
I didn't even know that. That.
I'm sure. Who was it? Vapex Karma. He's gonna enjoy this because he put a comment in the first podcast saying, "Oh, I made the podcast." So he made the second one in one of his videos. I'm not too sure which one it is because. I don't know. I watch quite a lot of them, but yeah, you could put the same team in the Champions League twice, or you could put them in the Champions League and the Europa. Yeah, it was the Champions League and the Europa League in the same season. So you'd literally play like Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, or 2 games. Yeah, literally so broke.
That is bad. That I did not know that. That is shocking behaviour.
Yeah,
man.
Literally, it's all broke. Everything they add into the game breaks.
Right? Can I ask you a question? Let's flip the switch a little bit. Right? Since the FIFA 13 remodel of career mode, which did a lot for the game. To be fair, Since then, what additions have actually worked? Because I know one. There's only one for me. That's properly gone. Yes, it's a good reason. That is thankfully in the game. I love that addition.
I don't know.
I would say that.
Honestly,
I would say that the only thing that they've added that I've gone, yes, I'm so glad that's in the game is training.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything else. Seriously, everything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's not broke, but it could definitely be a lot better.
Oh yeah. We'll get training. For me, the training drills. Why on earth are they the same drills all the time? You're only going to sim it. What if? Here's an idea. What if you had your game on Saturdays, but the day after, say on Friday or the day before that, if you've got the time, obviously with the schedule being massively full,
broken.
You have a training session, and the computer randomly gives you 16 of your players that they play you against the other 16 or whatever you've got, and a couple of randomers if you're short of players. Maybe even your youth academy players. Like, why don't you just why don't you just like have a training drill? Just 11 v 11. Bibs on.
Honestly, we could go so in depth into training.
Yeah, but like if they wanna, if everybody's not happy with training, why don't you have training just in the background? Like you can sim the matches, right? You can sim the training matches if you want. So it's just like simming your 5 slots at the moment. But if you really want to be like, no, what I'll do actually is put it on beginner and I'll score 99 with one player. Then that'd be like acing all your slots, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, its finishing goes up by 10
you know
every training session.
Like it's silly, like because it could further character development in series like mine. It could bring a further connection. It could give you more insight into your squad. It's nice and chilled. Obviously, playing FIFA, playing the game is why we're there, not looking at a screen simulating.
Yeah, just sitting in the menus all the time.
Why would you like? I remember simulating a couple of seasons on Youth Squad Legends once and trying to get A's on the training drills and just sitting there for like 2-3 hours going, I'm wasting my life. This is the worst. And stuff like that, I mean, like, that is well under everything else that I've got wrong with the game. This is, like, low priority. But it's another way of thinking, like, why don't we do this instead of our current way? And I think FIFA, I don't know, the guidance is wrong.
Yeah, there's no direction.
Like, I'm pretty sure that there's some people at that company that really want to make career mode better, but they have no idea on how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which hopefully that's where the increased input can guide them. I do hope so, because I've no idea what's to come in FIFA 20.
Yeah, I think what I'd like from training, me and Niran did speak about this. I think we could probably have a discussion about maybe individual factors of the game, as in like trading and the global transfer network and things. Should like maybe we could put together a practical way of possibly how they could change it, and then you could speak to any YouTuber out there and say like, look, let's spend an hour talking about training. Let's put a productive list together of how it should be changed and the way it should be formatted. But I think personally, I'd like it to be how you said, all in the background. On the journey, I love that training area, where you've got the pitch, everyone's got bibs on. How you used to be able to do 11v11 in FIFA, when you had the custom free kicks and corners, when you could move the players. But yeah, I'd definitely love like an 11v11 training, like whole squad-based training in the background. Maybe with a couple of players being like nurtured by some senior players possibly. Another thing which even if you didn't have to watch or even spend any time with the training in the background going on, you just set it up at the start of the season, then maybe you get reports back off your
that'd be great.
Off one of your coaches.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think it'd also be great for instead of you having all of these 16-year-olds coming through the youth academy going, sign me, I'm going to leave, or sign me. You could maybe it all links in together. I think you could have an under 21 squad, and then you can play with all of these youth players. And if you go and play in 11v11 and this one guy stands out, you're like, whoa, we need to get him in the first team now. Bring him into the first team,
of course.
Yeah, not just bring him in because he's moaning when you can't even reply to him in the emails.
That would be amazing. Like to have an under 21 league where you play your under 21s or play your
like first team v under 21s. In
quotation, your reserve team. So, for instance, like you're in the championship, you're against Bristol City in the league, and then maybe a day after or a couple of days before that, you have the under 21s game against Bristol City. It doesn't need to be like in depth. You can just play the same team but with under 21s. And Bristol City just literally just select their really bottom trash players that they've got in their squad, and they face up against your team, and just to see what it's like. You could call it a reserves league instead of like an under-23, so that can get away from the fact that Bristol City will probably like field 40-year-olds with like crippled overalls.
Or they could go really in depth, as obviously they've got the Premier League licensing, etc., and just work on the Premier League 2. Work with the Premier League 2, get all of the Premier League 2, get more of the youth players that are already playing for them in real life into the game. Because obviously it's like on Football Manager. If you have the teams there, you've obviously got to fill them, and then as you filter down the leagues, you just make the players up. Start with regens. Another thing which I would like to see in FIFA regarding the youth academy is when you join a team, especially a Man United, a Chelsea, Liverpool, there's already quite a decent youth squad there.
Yeah, so it's like it just
how it is in PES.
It drops a team in.
You inherit like a team of 12 or a team of 11.
Cool. That's cool.
Already in youth academy.
Because I was thinking, like, if this was the case, if this what you're talking about right now was in FIFA, I think Youth Squad Legends would be like the first couple of years. I'd just play with the youngsters and simulate all the first team games. Like let the proper players just take the first team. I'll concentrate on the under-23s, and when I think they're ready, they will go and play.
Yeah, you could even make that kind of like role play it as you're the under-23s manager, and the first team's just cracking on with whatever they're doing. I think obviously another thing that you could link in with this as well is if you had an editorial mode where maybe you could do that. So you start in a League 2, you're playing with like 30 and 40 overall 16 and 17-year-olds. You can't get sacked.
Oh yeah, I don't understand.
You can't get relegated.
I don't understand
things like that.
Why this game is so limited in terms of like customization. Just if you don't want to get sacked from a job, if you've got a project going on, you should at least be allowed to do that. If they want to like give you a penalty in terms of like less catalog credits, because you get a lot of catalog credits on career mode.
Yeah.
I don't like, who cares about them? You get loads of them anyway. But if they want to give you like no catalog credits if you're doing it unsackable, fine. I don't care. If you want to dock me something, fine.
I'm sure they used to do that on certain games on Xbox where you couldn't receive any like if you did cheat codes on GTA, you couldn't get any achievements.
You couldn't do any trophies with cheat codes.
Yeah, just little things.
Sorry, achievements with Xbox. Yes.
But I mean, we spoke about the Youth Academy, we spoke about the Global Transfer Network. Training.
No, we haven't talked about the Global Transfer Network. Let me talk about this chuffing Global Transfer Network, right? It needs to get so far in the bin that the bin goes through the chuffing floor and all the way down. You know, the crust of the earth, mate, the crust of the earth would be gone. It go down to that. I think
just bring back overalls,
mate.
Just let everyone see everyone's overalls. It's so bad.
I sent a document out. It's probably why I got Game Change, but I sent a document out to Corey at EA. I proposed this idea of, how about you merge the Global Transfer Network scouts and Youth Academy scouts, okay? Yeah. Obviously, you can hire better scouts for increasing like quality of youth player or player search. But
numbers.
Scrap the player search, right? Scrap the Global Transfer Network, and the more scouts you got concentrating on first team acquisitions, the more players you find through player search.
Yeah.
So
I understand what you mean. So it's more broad, but you can find more players.
So you go to player search and go, I want a player from 16 years old to 19 years old. His strength must be pace, finishing, composure. It searches, it brings up a list. That list might be inaccurate if you've got more of your scouts concentrating on youth academy. But it is a list, and it's close enough. If you got all 9 scouts thinking about first team, then that list becomes broader and more close.
Yeah, if you start the season and you put your 4 best scouts on, you know, players in their prime, so age 24 to 28 in this certain position, and then you say you're in the Premier League with Man United, you want to hold a midfielder, so you put, you know, a first team quality player in there at that age, you know, it's going to come up with Eric Dyer's stats there and then. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, it's like there's no point to the current player search because you can just go on FIFA, right?
Yeah.
And it just there's no point of global transfer network because you can just go on FIFA.
Yeah, it's literally pointless being in the game.
If firstly there was a removal of the potentials and then something like that kind of you have to think about. For instance, like in Youth Squad Legends, I would start concentrating on like bringing youth squad players in first, so my player search would be absolutely trash at the start through my concept. But
yeah.
You'd have like a monthly scout report, just one monthly scouting report where it brings back an entire list of players that they've been scouting from any country. You don't pick the country, right? You only pick if they're concentrating on first team or on youth.
Yeah, so they could come from anywhere.
So it'll give you a list of all the players. This kind of removes the fact that we can't scout Wales, by the way, because it'll just generate a random country. It's genius.
Yeah, maybe with the tier of the club that you're at, depends on how far, like, you know, worldwide they can scout.
Course. Yeah, that's an idea in itself. Yeah. I don't know how they'd implement that, but it's an idea. Or the fact it might go to how much money you've got in the bank.
Yeah. They do that in Football Manager, don't they? Like, you have a scouting budget.
They do, yeah. Like, it could be really easy, like, if you've got less than 5 million in the bank, you're limited to your continent. If you've got a bit more, then it is a little bit broader. You might have, like, a couple of continents. If you go to, like, 20 million, it just scouts the world. It just gives you anything.
Yeah, that would go, you know, full circle again as to, you know, having the finances mean more.
Of course,
you know, if you're in the Championship and you're Villa and you've got 20 plus, or maybe not Villa, West Brom saying they've got 20 plus million starting budget, you know, they're going to be able to go to Spain and Australia, America and scout these players. But if you're, you know, newly promoted, I don't even know, you got just promoted to the Championship.
Wow. Put me on the spot there.
Brainwave.
Wow. Wait a second. Hang on. I know this. Calm. Wigan.
Newly promoted Wigan.
Yeah.
You know, they've come up, but they've only got a budget of 5 million, so they can only scout, you know, Northern Europe and Great Britain.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know,
and it doesn't need to, like, involve the finances. It can just read the number that it gives you at the start.
Yeah, it's just a script.
Yeah, so for instance, if you drop into a new season and the game gives you about 3.5 million, that'll tell the game to only scout a certain region for that season until you drop into the next season when they give you a different budget, and it can just say, right, okay, you can scout this region now. Because it's got, you've got like 5 million maybe in the bank, so you can go a little bit broader.
There's people obviously using not real players as well. That would make so much of a difference because everybody's save would be individual.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone would be signing different players, and I think that they should bring back somewhat of the old. Scouting, you know, when you used to be able to search for a player, you could put maybe 2 stats in there that you wanted them to like have as a minimum.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to search for a centre mid, you could put that you wanted them to have like minimum 80 passing, short pass, say. Like you said, it could work how you just tick it now, but it would have to be more specific and it would have to work. So you could put not attacking minded, because attacking minded is not specific. Like prolific. What does prolific mean in FIFA? Doesn't mean anything.
Maybe it works with composure. The thing is, though, what I'd like in the game is for a small degree of mistakes. Okay. What I mean by that is that not every scouting works. They might present you with an absolute dud. and you sign him up, and he is an absolute...
He's
terrible, and you're like, oh my God. But it makes the gems feel so much better when you sign someone.
You're risk-taking.
Exactly. When you sign someone amazing, you're like, oh my God, I am so thankful that I've got this player. Because you're getting to a stage now where if you do it by attributes, like I want strength above 80, then you know that he's going to be a strong player, because it's very unlikely that he's going to not be a strong player. So you've got to kind of make it like, you've got to obscure it behind like some kind of like frosted window of some kind. Just like...
Yeah, maybe you could link strength to a player's height. So maybe you bring, your scout brings back a guy that's like 6'1", but he's only got 60 or 70 strength. So he's not the strongest. The scouts just thought that he might fit that that scouting report because he's 6'2", say.
Oh no, I would say
so that's an error there.
Hide what I would do. Hide the attributes. Properly hide the attributes. I know. Like everybody's like whoa, because the global transfer network did it at the start, didn't they? But
yeah,
move towards like a star system like Football Manager have got. You don't know how strong a certain player is when they're presented to you on a squad report. That's down to you. That's through your knowledge. If you want to understand more about him, scout him like you do with the global transfer network. It would actually make scouting way more important. Way more important.
Yeah, because there's like two phases to it. It's how good are your scouts, and then it's who are you going to take the time to actually scout individually. Yeah. So you're getting that at the start of the season, or in January you're getting that list of 20 players, but then maybe you can only afford to scout 5. That could be another thing.
Don't make it 28 days or whatever, however much it takes to scout one player on FIFA. Make it a couple of days so it properly like immerses you in a window, a transfer window. If you've got 9 scouts, say for instance they fuse them scouts, what I was talking about, them scouts can also be assigned to individual players.
Oh yeah, this is what I was saying, that you can maybe, this could go back to how much money you've got in your budget. Each scout in the region they're in, they could maybe be limited to the certain amount of players they can give full reports on in a certain window of time.
But the window of time needs to be shorter, in my opinion, because it's
way too long.
It's near a month, and if it's January transfer window, if you really want to like improve your squad, then you've got no time.
Yeah, I think there just needs to be more to do in between games, because at the minute it's just like play a game, sim 7 days, do one training, play another game.
Yeah, because it's like if you're doing something like that, if you said, all right, on the 1st of January I'm going to scout some players, that's all cool. You will eventually get the results back by the end of the month.
Yeah, and then you're rushing to sign the player.
Yeah, but you're rushing to sign a player, and there's all that time in between that you're getting nothing.
Yeah, it's just boring.
Like the old Football Manager games, the scouting system's changed a little bit, but the old Football Manager games, you could scout a player, and the report would be back the next day or the day after. It's just like a small scout report, like, yeah, you really should think about signing him. If you want a more in-depth scout report, then you could send them off for a few matches at a time, maybe even a month. It's just crazy.
It is. I think what would be best going forward. Obviously, the Game Changer program is there for a reason. The developers need to get in the big conference room, invite 30 content creators down, and just sit and talk like this and brainwave. It's not brainwave. What's the when
just think.
We used to do it at school.
Brainstorm.
And used to write something. Brainstorm. Brainstorm. I knew I was close. And just brainstorm and write things down on a piece of paper. Then they can take that into the office, bang it on the wall, and they just look at it. When they're developing the game mode, they just go, oh yeah, this person said this. Oh, that's quite cool. And then this links with this, and we should work on that.
Honestly, personally, I don't think like the Game Changers thing should not be a thing. Full stop. It should not be a thing. Like, I don't really want to get into hot water because I'm thankful that they gave me this chance. Yeah. To even talk about the game that I really do like. But if you're developing a game, you should look at every single person that's buying that game, what they like, what they don't like, the ones that like really go high up on the list. I don't like this in the game. Sort it out, make it better. It doesn't matter if they've got a title saying Game Changer.
Oh no, yeah, I understand that. What I'm implying is that the Game Changers have been brought in because they're, you know, they have platforms and, you know, it's easier for you guys, say there's 20 Career Mode Game Changers, or I don't know how many there is exactly, 15, 20 say, to gather as much information from your hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Okay,
and then
that's pretty
put
cool.
it in one area. So what I'm saying is you guys take the information from the average player, and then so it goes from like say 200,000 people to 15 people to like the 5 developers.
That makes more
filters
sense.
through.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I'm like, what my perfect world, it would be there would be no game changers. Of course, they would have like open discussions with content creators because, like you said, they've got loads of subscribers and they read their own comments. It just I just want them to be a bit more proactive with the fan base, just the normal fan, because I remember me growing up. If I had Twitter, I'd be wanting them desperately to change something in the game. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I would hope that they'd listen to me because I love the game so much, and I don't feel
it's just people are passionate.
I don't feel like that kind of. They're not ignoring, because I know that there's a lot of passionate people working for EA, but they could definitely communicate better with just the normal player, not YouTubers. I'm in a privileged spot to have this title of Game Changer and to talk to them, but really in a
it boils down to everyone should be listened to, and everyone should have their point heard.
Of course, like Twitter is an absolute. Can I swear on this?
Yeah,
shit show, exactly. It's an absolute shit show at sometimes. And I know, like, Corey...
Okay, actually, I'm going to bleep that out. That out. No, I'm not really.
No,
you
can. I don't mind. Like, I'm all good.
I mean, I could bleep yours out if
no.
I'm
all good.
I've never said this is PG.
Yeah, I'm all good with swearing.
I mean, to be honest, it's a FIFA podcast, so I don't think any FIFA podcast could be PG because it's just shit.
So I've completely lost my thought because we were laughing at a swear word. So Twitter can be nasty at times. I know Corey has received a lot of toxic messages.
Yeah,
but there's
some not very nice people in the world, isn't there?
Horrible, but
I mean, I'm guessing you've probably experienced it.
Yeah, occasionally, but it's something that you have to manage, mate. And I'm sure I'm going to have to manage it better when I get, fingers crossed, to a bigger.
It just comes with it, doesn't it? I mean, just look at everyone
jealousy.
on the internet.
At times it's jealousy, mate.
Majority of the time, yeah.
But so I think it's tough, man.
I think you just have to have a bit of a backbone sometimes. I mean, I can appreciate that when you're sitting at your computer for 8 hours a day and the majority of the things you're seeing directed at you aren't very nice, it will probably be very mentally straining.
He must be. He must, like, I wouldn't be able to do it. Full stop. I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's probably. It wouldn't surprise me if people in not just in EA but in every corporate company that offers a service or entertainment of some sort, somebody's going to get the stick, and sadly in EA's eyes it is Corey and Zaro. I mean, you could say some people might sit there and go, yeah, that's their job though, but people shouldn't be sitting on the computer saying stuff on Twitter that they won't be saying to them in real life. It's just not nice.
I think
you have to remember that.
This is the thing, right? We don't like what EA are doing right now with the game. Everybody is in full agreement that it's going the wrong way. But you can't tell me for 1 second that if everything was communicated better on Twitter or forwarded properly on Twitter to the likes of Corey, there might have been a lot of really good ideas mixed in with a lot of swear words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of frustration.
That Corey might have actually paid attention to and forwarded it on because it was like, actually, you know what, that's a really good idea. I bet there's been plenty of cases where it's been so full of anger and distaste for the company.
Yeah, that it's great.
That the idea that is embedded in that tweet, but surrounded by swear words, isn't getting looked at all.
Yeah, it goes through him, and then he just, forwards it on, and then it goes to, a manager or head of blah, 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 and they just stand there laughing.
Yeah. I'd hope.
Just put it in
I'd
the
hope
bin.
that Corey and Zaro are zoning in on Twitter accounts that they know are passionate about the game. Might not be game changers right now, but they know that they love the game and they can give. They can get some good information, advice on where to go with the game. But I don't know. I don't know how much information on Twitter they take in. They get a lot of interactions as well. So it must be very difficult to keep on top of that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one of my aims for this podcast was to obviously get a lot of career modes, YouTubers, content creators, people that are passionate about the game mode on, because I'm passionate about it. I've been playing it since, I'd say 2003 is my first remembrance of really getting into FIFA. It's just another platform for everyone to just have a bit more of a relaxed setting and talk more than, especially for like your subscribers and their unsubscribers. They only really get to, hear from you guys on videos and streams. In this format, it's a little bit more relaxed and you can open up a little bit and really, just talk.
Yeah, that's
where you can't really do that.
I love that. I love this idea because it's the fights. Like you said, Youth Squad Legends. When you watch it, it's so full on right now. Like it is. My character is very, very out there. And it's quickly edited, and it's like you don't have time to breathe. But
you even said that it's literally you've been working on it for what, like 8 hours today?
It was like I started at like 2:30 and finished at about 8:30. Yeah, 6 hours. Yeah. Yeah,
and then you've sat there for 20 minutes talking to everyone in the chat on the premiere as well. You've barely had time to go and eat.
Yeah, I quickly grabbed something whilst the video was rendering.
Exactly, that just shows the dedication that you've got to your subscribers and creating fun, entertaining content. But you can only do that for a certain extent until the game that you're playing isn't up to standard, and that's why I'm hoping that this platform can maybe be heard by the people that need to hear it. And it's one of them things you can sit there and listen in the background. You can listen in the background. The average person can listen in the background. Someone that plays FIFA once a week can listen to it in the background, and people that actually work at EA can listen to it in the background if they want. I do know. Well, I've been told that at EA they do watch streams and they do watch YouTube videos regarding the game. So you never know.
I think that's where I got the opportunity from, because of that video that you were talking about earlier about me about not buying FIFA 19. I'm pretty sure that was the video that alerted them to me.
They would have seen.
But in terms of like dedication and time that it takes to like fix the broken game, I have a lot of information from the cheat engine. This is why I went to PC anyway, because there were a guy.
Oh yeah, I'm going there very soon.
There was a guy called UC Nerd that did it a few years, but I think he started like FIFA 17, But he did it on the PC. And then I watched him FIFA 18 do it, and I was like, why am I not on that? And oh man, the things that I've had to do during the off seasons, it's just...
Oh, I know, yeah. I follow you on
for
Twitter,
instance,
so...
FIFA 19 has an ethnicity problem with the regions. So I go through every single region. This takes about, I'd say about...
Yeah, did you hear that, guys? Every single region in the save. Not just in his own team or own league, the whole save.
I'd say that takes about 3 to 4 hours, changing the skin tones, because there's certain countries that are alright, and then to stop the obvious potentials of certain regions, because obviously they just generate the same potential as the previous guy. For instance, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's region would have a high potential. I then go on and randomize the potentials of every single region. Recently, we've done the boots. The boots are generic boots this year. So we've changed the boots of every single region. Untucked the shirts of every single region.
Obviously everyone's got tucked in shirts.
Untucked all shirts of every single region. And then, most recently, we have... Oh, let's think. So the ethnicity problem is one stage, and then, for instance, if a black guy gets turned into a white guy because he's from a white country and he's got what I presume is a white name. I have like friends. It's horribly like it questions if you're a racist or not. By the way, seriously, I have like honest, mates. See, no joke. You've got to listen to this, boys. Right? I have mates that I talk to in a Discord call and say a name and go, is that white or is that black?
Is that white?
It's like we all question ourselves by the end of it, but it's something that we have to do to make the save more realistic, and it hurts to hell.
Yeah, you just have to be really stereotypical, don't you, when you're sorting that stuff out?
It is horrible, mate. And I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish the game could just do it for it, because you can obviously just like go, oh, FIFA, you're silly. This guy shouldn't be a white guy.
It'll do.
But when you're doing it yourself, when you say, look, I am manually doing every single player, then you've got to make sure every single player is right.
Yeah, because if there's a handful left out, then it's like,
and
there's no point.
Yeah, especially my save's now out there for anybody to like look at, and if there's like one problem, for instance, the surname Blackman. I've got 3 regions with the surname Blackman. Now, what the hell do I do with that? You know what I'm saying? That is so difficult. So it's oh my god, I can't even explain how
it's frustrating.
How it's crushing. It is so crushing, and that's the kind of like stuff that you don't see that I worry about massively, because if there's one little mistake, someone will pick you up and call you a racist, and it's like, I'm not a racist. The game is absolutely broken, and I need to fix it by changing the ethnicities of people. Oh mate, it is absolutely shocking.
You're gonna have to employ someone to do it.
Oh no, because then the employer would get like. I would then look at the employee and go, "Why is this guy called that?"
You have to keep them anonymous. Like, you have to make a Twitter account for them, like an anonymous, non-racist or something like that.
Like
anonymous name changer.
Shout out to I think Jake Church Fruity. You know who you guys are. These are the guys that like literally sit in there for hours and hours listening to me going, is Will. Dooley? I'll say Dooley as a surname. Is Will Dooley white or black? And they'll just go white, and they'll like sound. Yeah. And that's it. That's all that we do for hours, just to make the game save like as
just more
authentic as possible. Yeah, because I realised that previous FIFAs, obviously you get the name pool of the real players. So if English players would just get like a random real English player name.
Yeah, like Jim.
But of course, like our country, we got loads of Nigerian surnames now in football. So if you're manually doing, for instance, Akinde, my beautiful Akinde, yeah. if you're doing all these players manually, then you've got to make sure to check all the surnames and their heritage, and just to try and make sure that the guy represents that heritage. It is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not just going on the cheat engine and scrolling through and just, you know, clicking the name, changing it, going down, clicking the next one, clicking the next one, changing that. There's actually quite a thought process that goes into it, because like you said, once you've done 1, you have to do 2. Once you've done 2, you have to do 5. Once you've done 5, it just goes on like that.
That's it. Google's always open. So, for instance, if there's like a surname that I'm not too sure about the whereabouts of it, I search it on Google. So, if it's a German nationality, a German-born player that it kind of not look like a German surname, then I search the surname, see the player. Yeah,
see where it's come from. Yeah, it might be like a Polish, maybe come from a Polish background or something like that.
It's so much time. But eventually, like you said about how I've been able to keep this kind of level of passion and level of interest for the game.
Yeah, that's why.
Because I've spent so much time outside the game trying to make the save as special as I possibly can. And it's like...
And I think that's why your content and just you as a person is so appreciated because of that.
Yeah, it's challenging. It is really challenging.
Yeah.
But...
Well, here you go. This is YSL Insights.
Yeah, seriously. Like...
This is Cutzy on a new level.
It's hours, mate. For instance, like I was taught this other program called Revolution Database Manager, and it's literally just it loads up your save and presents it to you in spreadsheet form. I've never done spreadsheets in my life, but there I was for 3 days looking at a spreadsheet and editing a spreadsheet, and I was like,
really?
I was like, this is seriously.
You're gonna have to. Are you still got that?
So I would wake up. I don't have the best sleep schedule, so I'd wake up about noon and I'd be on it until 4 a.m.
Oh, you're gonna have to send me like a screenshot of this so I can show everyone what it looks like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'll do that. No problem.
It just honestly it shows, guys. Obviously, a lot of your subscribers are going to be, you know, watching this. A lot of them are going to be interested in listening to you. So it just shows, guys, like. If you don't, I'm sure most of them follow you on Twitter, but even I follow you on Twitter, and I'm not on Twitter all day, but I see videos of, you know, your upgraded players' overalls, changing their kits or their boots, and, you know, bringing through new players or scrolling through a short list of like all these new regens from that season, showing who they play for, what they look like, their names, etc. that you've changed. You know, that's what makes YSL.
Yeah,
and ever since the Chesterfield days. It's just, I'm quite happy at where it is at, and obviously it's all down to your hard work.
Yeah, it's no matter how broke the game was this year, I was always going to move on to the PC, just because I've always wanted to have full control on which players grow and which players don't. A lot of people had approached this series in caution because they think that I would make players overpowered. No, not at all.
Yeah, I can remember there being a big hiccup about that in the first few episodes, and you kept having to kind of repeat yourself.
Yeah, like I'm not
to say, you know, like, look, in the future it will be the right decision.
I'm not gonna shove people up to like 90 overall straight away. It's just not going to happen. Actually, Victor Mathis, one of the players, he started out as a goalkeeper. He went to striker and scored twice. Seriously, that is the biggest overall that I've ever done, right? And that was +7. It was the biggest overall that I'd done. He played Walsall in a cup and scored twice as a centre. I'll tell you the history of him. He started out as a goalkeeper, but we had too many goalkeepers, so he moved to centre back. Found a home at centre back, but we got a lot of centre backs in the summer. So I was like, well, this guy could be a wild card up front. Eventually, as time come to play up front, he was 43 overall up front, 43 playing against Walsall. Yeah, scored twice, so that's a really impressive performance, right? Only went up by 7. So that's like the biggest increase that I've done by a long stretch. The others have been like +3 maybe. So it's been like max. Really gradual progress. So it's exact same as what you would get in real life.
Like if you base it off the overalls in the game,
a proper career mode save. Like it's the same growth. It's just like I've got more control over it. And if I feel like the player's doing well, the player will do well.
You've done it in quite a fun way as well, don't you? Because obviously you have all the scenarios and stuff like that.
Yeah, I completely forget about that.
Obviously gets your viewers involved a lot more as well.
No, and that's mint. I'm so glad that works out, I guess.
Yeah, regarding scenarios, have you made all the scenarios,
or
are they viewer based?
All my friends, Discord server. There you go. I put it on the Discord server, and they put a lot of scenarios out. There's a few in the comment sections now that trickle through occasionally, but I'm not gonna add to the notepad that I've got. I've got like 92 on the notepad, and I don't think there's a lot less now because I keep on like crossing them out when I've actually used them in an episode. But I don't think the series is going to be more than 92 episodes, so I don't need more than 92 scenarios, if you know what I mean. But that's great. It brings an extra level of character development because there's certain scenarios like Max Jackson might have done a bit of public indecency. And that adds to the series. You can add that. Like there's some that are just a little bit more straightforward. Like they've had a good training session, therefore they go up by an overall maybe. But then there's certain ones that are genuinely just character development.
Yeah, it just adds to the whole series, and I think as a whole you've hit the nail on the head with the Macclesfield one. Going forward in FIFA 20, if obviously there might be 1 or 2 new things added to the game. I can't see anything massively changing. Are your plans to kind of do the same thing, or do you want to kind of keep a hush on that at the minute? Or have you even been thinking about it at all?
I've not really thought about it that much, but I can't imagine. The thing is, like, I took a big step with Youth Squad Legends this year. And unless the console version offers something that the PC one doesn't, I don't think I'll be moving back there. And so long as the cheat engine gets updated and works, then that's all good.
Do you think that the cheat engine will be furthered and it'll open up more opportunity, or is it the game that's restricted that now?
I think it's the game that's restricting it. Like there's so much in that cheat engine that I can see, and it does not work. You try and implement it and it just breaks the game. I think like the developer of the cheat engine has put everything in that you can think of that can be customized.
Yeah, change.
Even if it breaks the game. And that's your lot. I think like it will be further developed because they've just released this new version with that and with a nice user interface. Like you just have the cheat engine program open, but now they've got like this user interface going, and it's really nice. So they're definitely developing it. The guy who works on the cheat engine gets, I think, a comfortable amount on Patreon from last time I checked. So thankfully he's getting paid for his hard work. But it means it stabilizes him for the future. It makes him want to do more cheat engine because he's getting that kind of money by doing it.
Yeah, you have to think as well. If anyone on the off chance from EA is listening to this, like people are going out of their way. Like this guy wasn't getting you know, a fair amount from Patreon when he first started it. There's obviously people that have, you know, hooked onto this and, you know, appreciated the time and the effort that he puts in. But people, this is the appreciation and, you know, it's just the appreciation of what people put into this game mode and why they want it to be improved so much. It goes from the casual player to the YouTuber to the people working on the cheat engine. It just shows.
Aaron Axel, the guy who makes it, has made my channel a lot better. Like the Mackles,
I think he's helped a lot of people out.
Like Niren, we talked briefly prior to recording this podcast. His channel's blown up thanks to the cheat engine. So he must have a lot to thank for Aaron Aktu. But it's just like, the guy is an absolute legend. Yeah,
it just opens up so many opportunities.
And it's like, what I do, simplistic terms, forget about all like the player editing and that, it just upgrading the players. It takes an hour of time before an episode just to make sure everything's right. And all of a sudden, right there, you've got something that's way better than we've had since like FIFA 11.
Yeah, in the game. You know, that is developed by game developers, by this multi-million pound company. Multi-billion pound, sorry.
Why can't you change hairstyles?
Why?
I don't understand.
Why EA Sports FIFA? Why?
I don't know. I don't get it. But there it is.
It's frustrating. So future of YSL then, you're not really thinking
about YSL.
FIFA 20 at the minute.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my computer. Sorry if you heard that.
It's all good. So long as it's not the PC has crashed and everything has been lost.
No. This is the other one. It's just trying to restart.
The other one, you've got two computers on the go.
Well, I mean, this is you know.
Damn it, he's ready. He's ready for this. He's prepared.
To be honest, I've had your YouTube channel up on it for the past 3 hours, just sitting there if anything comes to mind.
Nice. All right, so future Youth Squad Legends. You wanna ask me that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's if you're not really thinking about it,
I'm looking at. Okay, these are the teams that I'm looking at for FIFA 20. Bradford are coming down. They could be interesting. AFC Wimbledon are basically my first choice at the moment. If they come down, which it's looking likely. Because I missed AFC Wimbledon completely when they were in League 2, and I really wanted to do them, but I never thought that they would get promoted. Not in my wildest imagination that I'd think they'd get promoted into League 1. So I'm like, that's a shame. And the last couple of years, I've not really been down for the teams that I've played with. I've grown to like them. I've grown to like Lincoln. I've grown to like Macclesfield. But I've never been buzzed to genuinely from the start. Exactly. I've had to grow into it. That will change if it's Wimbledon, because I really want to play with Wimbledon.
Yeah, imagine how good YSL is going to be with the cheat engine if you actually you from day one you're release day let's go YSL Wimbledon.
I don't think that will be the case.
Why? Because the game's going to be shit.
No, I think it is time for FIFA to update the game, isn't it? They do it in 3-year cycles. The last one.
Was
FIFA 17. So I think maybe the code might change a little bit, therefore the cheat engine needs to change along with. Which might take a few days. I think in FIFA 18 it took about a week. But eventually it got there.
Yeah, so there could possibly be a delay.
No. The Youth Squad Legends will start. I think in this Youth Squad Legend, the cheat engine started about episode 4.
Yeah, I suppose actually if you're on the PC, you can run the cheat engine software after you've already started the save.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you don't need to do anything beforehand. For instance, you can just
you don't need to start a new save just to get bloody faces.
Exactly. Well, actually, you probably still have to do that kind of thing.
I mean, regarding that sort of stuff.
Anyway, let's
moving on from the point.
Youth Squad Legends, if there isn't any significant progress on FIFA side, then we will look into going into Football Manager, because I feel like, which might be an even more interesting point, that Youth Squad Legends is carrying maybe more viewership than the actual FIFA name on the episodes. So I think I'd say like 70%. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 70% of the people that are watching Youth Squad Legends right now would still probably watch Youth Squad Legends if it was on a different game.
I agree with that. Yeah, because this is what we were talking about earlier. It's not, people aren't really watching the series because it's FIFA now. They're watching it because of the story, because of the names, because of the characters, because of you.
I think it might not start off like that. Of course, like there'd be a really hard bedding in process, but eventually people would realise how much of a better game Football Manager is, and then I would get a consistent viewership, I think. Yeah,
it could potentially maybe bring some Football Manager viewers across that aren't really into FIFA.
Like, I don't want that to happen, by the way. I don't want that to happen. I want FIFA to be a good game, because FIFA...
Yeah, this is like worst of the worst.
And I was seriously thinking about it this year, but Macclesfield has worked so well for me.
Yeah, the cheat engine, just perfect timing.
And it's just like, I can't not try and do it again next year, because it could lead the channel into like bigger and better things.
Yeah. What about both?
Both is a shout. Both is a shout. It's just.
Do you think it'd have to be at the time where you could sit down every day, all day, to work on the content?
The only thing
is that where you'd have to be.
No. I think like if I would run 2 series simultaneously, I'd probably go for a 1 every 2 day schedule, rotating between the 2. But I've done something like that in the past and it didn't work. So you get one series doing really well compared to the other, and then the failing series get absolutely hounded by the fans after it had finished.
Yeah, and it just dwindles out.
So it'd be like, oh, this series was good, but can you remember the one that ran beside it? Oh, what a load of crap that was. So I don't really want that to happen, which means that you're probably looking at the future of Youth Squad Legends being either one or the other. But yeah, like we talked about, Football Manager is the last resort. Like, I do not want to move away from FIFA at all.
Yeah, I'm sure if we got the exact same game, maybe the cheat engine, got a couple of new versions where you could do a little bit more. I think you could still get into, as you were saying, if you started with Wimbledon, you could get into that series from day one and create another story.
Mate, if it was the exact same game, right? They binned time finishing. They sorted out the ethnicity problems in the youth academy players. I'd be having a fucking whale of a time. I'd be enjoying it so much, because I wouldn't need to mess about with sorting out things for hours and hours.
Off screen.
I would just sit down and just enjoy playing FIFA, and that's why that was my motivation to move to the cheat engine in the first place. I was like, I'm going to properly enjoy this, but it has become a necessity because of how broken the game was, and it's become like this horrible grind, episode by episode, to make sure that the series is as you'd expect a FIFA game to be if it wasn't broke.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare.
The amount of time that you'd save as well, not doing that and possibly investing into bigger and longer episodes, more... just the little things that you'd put into the videos, replying to comments,
even just
things like that.
Seriously, I took for granted just time, just chilling, just really refreshing my mind, getting ready prepared for the next episode. Because recently it's just been go, go, go. It's been non-stop since September, mate. Since September, it's just been like I can't stop. I've had last couple of nights. I've had 10 hours sleep max between the two, which is no good. Of course, it's like not the worst sleep, but it screws with your head a little bit whilst you're trying to communicate.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Through commentary. It's just been.
Well, I mean, we're recording this podcast now, and I was up at 4 o'clock this morning.
Mate, what?
So, you know, I know how it feels.
Like it scrambles.
It's currently midnight as well.
It scrambles with your head a lot.
Oh yeah, it does. I think that, especially when you're when you're sitting in front of the PlayStation or the computer, and then you've got to sit in front of the computer and edit it. It is very mentally straining, and if you're not, resting your body to a somewhat fairly good level, then it might start taking a toll. But it just shows, like, everyone listening, you just have to appreciate the time that not just Curtis but other people put into their content, just for pure entertainment purposes.
It's good for new YouTubers as well. Anybody who wants to take this on board, understand that it is a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Even if you weren't going to do anything like I do, you don't need to do it. That's an extreme case. Trust me, that's an extreme case. But the amount of time that you're thinking, oh, it's great, I'm going to play YouTube and I'm going to enjoy it and people are going to watch me and that, it's way more than that. And the fact that you'll get suckered into it and try and make better production videos, you'll soon realise how much time it's taken up of your life and how much time you've got, how much little time you've got left outside of that. So, for instance, I thought coming into it, oh, it's great, I'll play games. Like, for the first year, it was just playing games, watching more YouTube, playing games, watching more YouTube. But then I realised that to get anywhere, I've got to produce better and better and better content. And then all of a sudden, this snowball effect comes around, and it takes 6 hours to produce an episode at times.
Yeah, it really does show, though, that obviously people say work smarter, not harder, and you've obviously, as I've said earlier, you've hit the nail on the head with how you're showing the story and how people are understanding it and the relationship you're having with your subscribers now, especially if we talk about the premieres on YouTube, because obviously they've been quite a revelation, I'd say, for some people.
They've been massive for my channel. Massive.
It's just another aspect of the story, isn't it?
I can understand that on other channels it might not be as profound. For Youth Squad Legends, it has been so significant. It has been the best thing that YouTubers brought out in a long, long time, because people that are enjoying the series, that know the story, can enjoy it with other people. The exact same.
That are also enjoying it.
Absolutely love what's going on, and that makes it even better than just reading comment sections. The live reaction of people when you score a banger, oh my goodness,
it's a buzz, isn't it?
It's so good, and
that's why I love live streaming. That is why I love streaming, because you get the same feeling. Everyone's there in the moment together.
When I started off YouTube, like, streaming was in the infancy, and my hardware would never be able to compete with it. So I was not even thinking about it. If I started now, I'd probably try and start off streaming. I'm not going to lie, because of that buzz. But to have that buzz after producing a video, it's so amazing. It is genuinely just
it's more special than reading through comments.
And not only that, like, there's been another revelation that there's a lot of people just willing to chuck money at you. And
it's like I'll compare it to Twitch. It's like the subscription.
Yeah, so there's a membership, and then there's you can just donate. and there's been loads, because I might be falling on hard times at work soon. In fact, no, it's basically confirmed now that I'm definitely falling on hard times, and I'm going to be leaving my job. And these guys who have been watching my content have been so generous in the way that they've given to me over the last month, I'd say, that it's just been a gift. Like, it's just been wonderful. It's been beyond words how thankful I have been for that. So much so that I think I spent about £100 on memberships. I gave like a load of people.
Yeah, I did see you tweeting out saying, who wants a membership?
I threw memberships at people so they could just use the amounts. Basically, I've been urging YouTube to roll out the join button to everybody, because I just want people to use my emotes. Just for the live chat to be better. Like, forget about the money side of things. The money side of things doesn't bother me with the memberships. I just want people to use the emotes.
They are quite good emotes.
Oh, mate, they're mint, and they're all memes. So it's meme central, mate.
That's all your bloody comment section is, and my replies on Twitter when asking for questions for you.
Go on then.
Just getting fake accounts from poor YSL players tweeting me.
the YSL account.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm just fishing for comments, Curtis. Okay, they'll come. I know it.
Ready.
All right. Regarding them questions, anyway, there's a few, normal questions that I think some people want to hear answers to. Let me find a good one to start off with. I'll put these on the screen, guys. Some of these are ridiculous. Favorite McDonald's Burger King haiku.
Favorite McDonald's Burger King haiku. I tell you what, you talk a lot of trash for 2 minutes, and I will try and build you a haiku that includes McDonald's and Burger King.
I remember the first ever comment, or the first ever comment that I saw of McDonald's Burger King, and I've never found anything with them two words in as funny in my life ever.
Look, I've no idea how it erupted. Honestly, I think everybody thought, like the tighter community that religiously watch every single episode, that they just thought like, oh, it's pretty funny, but it won't descend into absolute madness.
Yeah, and now it's still going.
Oh God. So I've got my first line, five syllables. Eat my McDonald's. I think we're starting off at a good start, and then we'll go. Hang on. Second line. I'm gonna go. Wait, McDonald's, Burger King? Question mark.
Like, what does it even mean?
Look, right. If you don't know, the comment, we do a comment section at the start of Youth Squad Legends, and the guy was kind of like doing a rhyme, I think, and he said Durante on the wing, which is hilarious. Firstly, that was hilarious because he's a centre-back, but let's forget about that. He said Durante on the wing, like McDonald's, Burger King.
Burger King.
What does that even mean? And it's just erupted into just... desperation, mate. It's just... And you still see it. Like, you still see people rhyming like their actual comment with takeaway restaurants down below, and it's like, this is pathetic.
It's I think some of your comments are the weirdest but the most hilarious on YouTube, honestly. It really shows the what's the word? I can't quite think of the word.
I've got my haiku, by the way. Do you want me to read the haiku?
Yes, right, go on. Gonna put some music over this.
Hang on. It's Haiku Chronicles with Yuko Ike. Eat my McDonald's. Wait, McDonald's Burger King? Stupid meme, please stop. There you go. Sound.
That's being clipped and going at the start of the video.
Of course.
Oh, honestly. Where did the Yuko Ike haiku come from?
The Haiku Chronicles came from a late night thought. I was just like, I was trying to think of something that obviously could be tied to the player, but not something that would ridicule them, but more make them look intellectual.
Yeah, enhance their character a little bit. To a certain extent.
And not only that, it's like you get so many trash comments, and it was like a sweep of them trash comments, and everybody were properly thinking about really good haikus to stick in the comment section.
Like people probably sit there for
there were some brilliant ones. And there were some terrible ones that were actually genius.
Sometimes the terrible ones are funny. Yes. The beauty of haikus.
One of my favourite haikus that was ever submitted is literally the F word for every single syllable apart from the last two. And then the last two is just chicken.
So we've got loads to talk about, so we just need a little bit of a break. But yeah, we're back. The
break did good.
The break for us, there's no break for you, so this is just going to sound completely weird. But we'll try and continue from where we were at. I've got a few more questions for you, actually, from the people.
Okay, sure thing.
We will. Let me just jump on Twitter. I'll try and get these up on the screen. I won't try. I'll put them up on the screen, so you guys can see your names on the screen. I'm trying to find some serious questions, but there's not many of them.
Oh man, weird and wonderful.
Oh, okay. This is a great question. Okay, it's not really. There's only really one part of it that I'm going to ask you about, because I did watch a video of yours and it's something that I used to enjoy using in the game. And Dom says, creating teams and logos and sharing them, it would be in FIFA and possibly a paid add-on. It would massively add to the experience. So this is like a follow-on from the start of the question, but it didn't really make much sense. Creation Center.
Yep.
How good was it?
Amazing.
I loved it.
The thing is, when it started its quick demise, should we say? So the first couple of entries of Creation Center, everybody kind of enjoyed it. It was a little bit clunky, but it really did work.
It was just new, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was fantastic for career mode. But I think it started its demise when KSI made a video. I can't remember what video it was, and I'm not blaming him at all, because I'm sure he didn't know what was to come. But he made a video and absolutely obliterated the Creation Center. Like,
as in creating the players and a stupid club.
It was a terrible website. It was really clunky and horrible. And from a person that doesn't do career mode that much, it would be confusing, and not only that, just like tiresome, laborious, way more difficult than what
he was used to.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that for a person who was doing a lot of career mode, they realised how much of a step forward it was compared to what we had. Which means that all the clunkiness went straight out the window. It was a great little feature. It's just the fact that the biggest FIFA YouTuber at the time, obviously he doesn't do that much FIFA now.
Yeah, we just slated it.
But just absolutely detonated it. And that was it. By then, that was status quo.
Yeah.
Creation Center was terrible. From then on.
I love the thing. I know you made I'm not sure how many videos, but you definitely made a couple of videos on it, didn't you?
I did right at the start.
Yeah, I think
right at the
I
start.
think your first ever video, actually, or your first ever video you've got on the channel is Creation Centre to Champions League.
The one that I've kept on. There's a few that I have deleted.
Yeah, can I?
I will
you know what?
always
Actually,
forget
I thought, oh, you know what? I'll watch the first one. Can I put a clip in of the video, because you were getting absolutely you were in love with Jordan Rhodes. And you signed
nice.
Jordan Rhodes. It was actually quite a clip. You were like, oh yeah, Jordan, he's in the club, get in, or something like that. It's like, you've come a long way, Curtis. You've come a long way.
When he scored for Huddersfield, like all them goals for Huddersfield, and everybody thought it was the bee's knees.
He was good back then. He was good.
Yeah. But then again, for all the terrible picks that I might have brought in on Creation Centre to Champions League, I got a really decent one in Robert Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, what?
Like,
can you do your famous wobber?
Like, to be fair, for all the terrible things that I'm going like, yeah, he's going to be a good player. Nick Powell is another one that I thought was destined to be a really good player. No chance. But Robert Lewandowski, I stuck to my guns and said, no, he is going to be a good player. And when he scored 4 against Real Madrid, it was like I was in a bubble bath with many, many women. I was like, this is my heaven. I just like, he has arrived. Wobber has arrived.
Is that where
he stuck the 4 fingers up, and I was like, oh my god. No, it wasn't where it started. It's just the fact that, like, when you said, talking about Jordan Rhodes, like he was that good, and getting really excited about Jordan Rhodes. Yes, there were loads of like cock-ups that I made on players that I thought would be good, but didn't turn out to be good. But Robert Lewandowski did actually turn out to be good, and that kind of counteracts everything.
Yeah. Would you like to see anything like the Creation Centre back in the game?
Say that again.
Would you like to see anything like the Creation Centre back in the game? Or do you reckon possibly in the future maybe the cheat engine would have some form of control like that?
If there was one thing that I'd want in the game right now, then it'd be the in-game editor. If I'm only limiting myself to things that have been in the game previous...
You've just asked yourself a really tough question there.
We're either talking visual sim, or we are talking Creation Centre.
I'm going to put a poll in the corner. What would you like to see if you had to choose?
I think
bringing the Creation Centre back,
man.
A whole new Creation Centre, as in, you could upload your own images and kits, etc. You know how you can on Football Manager, so they're like really good quality. Or they brought back Visual Sim. Let me know what you'd like to see.
That is a tough one. I think I'd go for Creation Centre, but obviously
I think I'd go Creation Centre as well.
That's like missing out. Stadium upgrades, staff upgrades were just insane.
Yeah,
they were so good. Why did they get rid of them? A lot of people like the form thing that they did in FIFA 11. I'm like, nah on it. But there's so much stuff. This is what I don't get. There's so much stuff that they put into the game and then take away. Yeah. Just like, what are you doing? The stuff was already there,
it's
mate.
Because this is a conspiracy that EA want to kill career mode off.
I don't know. I don't know how that would go about. Like, I think that would be a huge failure for the company. Not gonna lie, I think a lot of people would be seriously upset, seriously angry.
Oh yeah,
that they get rid of career mode.
I would not buy FIFA if there wasn't career mode on it. Simple as.
I think.
And I'd be forced to buy PES.
They've got figures to know. Like, they know how many players play certain game modes.
100%. Yeah.
I think through them figures, they understand how important certain game modes are.
They seem to be putting more effort into kickoff though than career mode for FIFA.
But, I mean, like,
FIFA 19.
Let's be honest. Everybody who buys the game will play a game of kickoff eventually.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a very.
So I bet the stats on them pretty significant.
Yes, but they're kind of pushing the casual player market at the minute, aren't they? And obviously kickoff is where the casual players are at. You know, oh, you coming around my house, mate? Do you want a game on FIFA?
I'll disagree with that, because I think they're actually pushing casual players away. I think everything that they're doing right now is focused mainly on competitive.
For competitive.
Because Ultimate Team is a sweat fest, from what I can hear.
I suppose, yeah, if you put in the time finishing and that, I think they're trying to. I agree with your point. Yeah, I think they're trying to cater for both. Obviously. I think I contradicted myself a little bit there. I look like a bit of a twat.
You know what I'd like? Nah, come on. Everybody's got their opinion. I think like what they've managed to somehow go away from is the fact that, and it's not only EA, by the way, it's all the game companies. We just want a fun game.
Yeah.
Like, how difficult is it to just produce a fun game? Make the game fun. I don't care how realistic it is. I don't care about the competitive side of things. I don't care about the casual side of things. I just want it to be fun. That's what sells a game. That's what drives interest and makes really good series and videos, because fun games are so important. And everybody has lost that, and I think that might be some of Fortnite's charm, because it was dead fun when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never played it, but it was just so.
It's just like a spark, isn't it?
Yeah, and not only that, the people who made the game cared for the game.
Yeah.
And listened to a lot of people who were playing the game. So, mate, I don't know. That would be the one thing that I'd say to EA: just make a fun game.
Yeah. Make
a game that would make you smile.
I think that
do something like that.
I think that I did the creation centre back in though, or some sort of create your own journey. You know, in career mode for us career mode players anyway, would add a lot into that, because it's like it's way more personal now. You know, if you've got your own club and you've created your own kits, like, you're putting time into it.
Oh yeah, create a club. Like, why is that not in?
That's another thing they've took out.
Why is that not in, man?
Yeah. If they're not going to add any in-depth additions, just create a club with career mode now, where you put a, you know, you just make you have a random budget. You can either start maybe with no players, or you just get assigned random 60 overalls. You start in League 2. Crack on. You can put your own kits in the game.
Amazing.
You know,
that would be so good.
Own stadium. With the cheat engine, can you change the stadium halfway through a stave for a club? You can.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done that on New Squad Legends already.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to do that so bad.
The issue is that we've changed it to a stadium that's absolutely awful in terms of like shading shadows. So we're probably gonna have to change it again quickly.
Yeah.
Either back for the time being or something else. I don't know. But that's another thing. Why on earth have we got stadiums that have got horrible shadows? Like, we're talking violent.
I mean, no.
Eye bleeding.
The worst one is St James's Park.
Oh, with the kind of because it's got a glass. They've got
the glass roof. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, John, there's an American one. There's an American stadium. I do not know which one it is, but it is atrocious.
I'm trying to think. I know I think it's the StubHub Arena, the LA Galaxy Stadium. Oh, that's got no roof, but it does have quite bad shadows.
It's just like.
That's it as well. It's the Seattle Sounders ground. It's got the massive, like, triangular shaped stand, and I think the one that looks it's like 3G. And that stand like has the shadows, and it's literally into the middle of the pitch.
Like, I get it. You've got to make every stadium look authentic, and that means replicating assets of the stadium and getting the shadows. It's just about playing a game on that pitch.
Yeah, it's got to be easy on the eye,
making sure that it doesn't hurt your eyes. How difficult is that?
Do you remember how bad playing playing in the snow was back in the day when the ball used to not change for you and it used to be a white ball.
This has been a problem for FIFA for ages, and everybody complains about it, and somehow they don't fix it.
Yeah, if anybody plays in the snow on career mode, then I salute you.
Like, I really don't understand. But this is the thing, that it's not only the fact that it annoys people and that. There's some people, and I'm not joking, that do their pro clubs on these certain arenas to try and gain advantage.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? It's just a stadium.
Yeah, it should have no effect on...
It should have no effect,
yeah.
Exactly.
I think, you know what, I really... Stadiums for me is a big one now. I love authenticity, like the player scans, like the heads being scanned, and the stadiums, especially the broadcast packages as well, like, they're really big for me now, because it's what you look at most of the time. I really like, you know, how you've got your, you know, the EFL, like the Championship, League One. You've made your own graphics, haven't you, with all the clubs, badges and stuff?
I dumped them. I dumped them eventually. I think I dumped them like halfway through the Lincoln series, but I did used to do that.
Yeah, that's so nice to look at. Honestly, mate, it was
just a lot of editing.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, isn't it? Because you've got to take it on, put it on, take it off, etc.
Yeah, I will bring them back if I... The reason why I didn't bring it back for this series is because they announced a partnership with EFL. Yeah. Which that means I thought, like, there would be a graphics pack.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, and there was nothing. I was like...
I'm sure that was before the release of FIFA 18 as well, or whilst FIFA 18 was out.
No, it was FIFA 19. No, it was way before the release of FIFA 19. So because I was like...
Yeah, they had John Terry on the front of it when he was at Villa.
Yeah, it was just like...
I'll get the tweet up. I'll put the tweet on the screen, because I can remember seeing it.
That's why on Macclesfield it's not returned. I would have easily designed it if I knew that they weren't going to bring a graphics pack in. Why they didn't bring a graphics pack in, I have no idea.
I think there's a real lack of authenticity within career mode for the EFL and League One and League Two anyway. Like, why have they not got more stadiums?
Yeah,
you know.
But, I mean, it does. I can understand why it must take a hell of a long time to make the stadiums up.
I mean, they brought literally every La Liga stadium into the game this year.
Yeah, but here's a thought, right? If they can't commit themselves to getting a lot of League One, League Two stadiums in, why don't you just design a few more terrible generic stadiums and make it a little bit more varied in the locations that you're playing?
I don't understand why they don't have a generic stadium editor for all the clubs with the generic stadiums anyway. You know, like Crown Lane, you can go from Crown Lane to Moulton Road, but you have to invest like 80 million or something of your transfer budget.
Like if they looked at a different way of I can see how you're talking. So if they looked at it a different way and actually split the models into 4 pieces, so a north, a south, a west, a east stand.
Yeah.
And you could actually
individually change each stand maybe per season or...
Yeah. And obviously using the generic stands that are available to you.
Obviously they have to fix them all together. There was I'm not a football manager, a championship manager where you could do that and you could actually see like a 360 spinning degree like blueprint.
That was LMA manager.
LMA manager, yeah, that was it. I think it was 08. It had like a red cover. Because you could actually get that one on the Xbox as well somehow.
07 was the last one that they made.
07, yeah, it might have been 07.
Yeah, they dropped it on the Xbox 360 just when it came out.
But
I remember that was cool. It was the best year for football games. 2007 was the best year for football games. You know,
FIFA 07,
FIFA 07, and LMA Manager.
What a game.
And whatever football manager was out at the time. I admit he might have been still Championship Manager. I don't know what was going out there, but that is one hell of a lineup for 2007.
That legendary gold cover.
Yeah, Terry and Henri. Was that game? Am I right?
PES 6. I will get a photo of it on screen. I'm not too sure. No, I'm sure PES 6 had one player on the front of it.
Oh, you see, I don't play. I never played PES.
Really?
Never played PES. Nah, never played PES.
I love PES. I was PES and then FIFA.
Yeah, like there were a lot of people that did that, and I understand because it was all gameplay. For me, it was authenticity. When I was a kid, I like loved authenticity, but now thinking about it and playing games, it's all about gameplay for me. But when you're a kid, you don't really care so long as it looked cool.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. Yeah, PES is struggling with the authenticity as well at the minute, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can sort that out in the editor, really.
Yeah, that's the one thing which is. I think we could have literally a whole podcast episode just dedicated on comparing FIFA and PES and talking about PES in general. But yeah, there's that is something that EA could learn from, and is if you can't change it or fix it, let us do it. You know?
That's it. Like, if you can't fix anything, at least give the ability to the people playing it. Let them make their own fun.
I think one thing that's took them too long to do, but I'm quite glad, and it's only a little aesthetic thing now it's in the game, but I love how your badges on the shirts and the number prints and all that change now. So once you go from the Championship to the Premier League, you know,
that's a big one.
Changes.
That's a big one because it makes you feel like you belong there.
Yeah, it's a sense of like, wow, you know, like it's like saying like, wow, done, yeah, achievement, a sense of achievement, yeah, like you're in the Premier League now, like especially with the Champions League.
I cannot wait to get into the Premier League.
I keep saying this of him. I'm doing a Warsaw career mode.
It's not to play any of the teams. I can't wait to get into the Premier League to see Macclesfield and them players with the Premier League numbering.
Yeah, Warsaw have got a really, really nice blue away kit, and it's got like a red and white stripe down the middle. And it's just like a dark blue. You know how the Champions League is like a dark blue? You know how the theme they've got going on? I just can't wait to see that kit with Champions League badges on.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'd be really cool.
It's just like...
What's about it? Does the Champions League have their own numbering, or does it then go to, like, manufacturers' numbering? Because in the Champions League normal, it goes to manufacturers' numbering.
Yeah. So I think in the Premier League, the clubs... You see it in the FA Cup as well, if you play a Premier League team in the FA Cup, like a Spurs. I know Spurs and Liverpool and Man United have their own fonts.
Right.
And for the FA Cup...
But the others...
And for the Champions League, I think they change, but I don't think there's many other teams that have them.
Right, so maybe it's just the Premier League numbering, but obviously with the Champions League badges.
Yeah, so I think so. Say if you get into the Champions League with Macclesfield, it will have the Premier League numbers with Champions League badges.
That is still better than what we had.
There's nothing worse than
that is amazing.
Like on FIFA 18, I was played Europa League final with Forest Green, and we had bloody EFL dotted text on the back of the shirts, and it just looked terrible. No. Yeah, exactly.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah, it's just the little things that... Yeah, it's the little things that make the biggest difference.
Football Manager has been a good game for a long, long time, but every single year they make... we're talking thousands of little changes just to make it a little bit better. And it's them little changes that seriously help the game.
Yeah.
This is, I think, another thing that FIFA... or EA have got completely wrong. They always go for like this hard-hitting feature every single year. Look, we got pre-season tournaments. Look, we got training. Make a big deal out of it instead of going, we've actually made 50 small changes. Like, I don't want... FIFA does not need to be as in-depth as Football Manager, ever.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was, but it doesn't need to be because the charm of FIFA is that you get to play with the players.
Mm-hmm.
It does not need to compete in the amount of depth that Football Manager has, because Football Manager has to have that depth to make it an interesting game.
Yeah, and I think that's really the main selling point, isn't it? It's like your total control. FIFA's a lot more casual.
Yeah. And it's just like
it's a lot more database, and obviously hence why it's on PC, etc.
Improve a lot that's going for the game already. Improve all that stuff. Maybe add one thing, because it's got to a stage now that they should have improved everything that they had this year, and then added something when they were going to do that 3-year cycle.
Yeah, I've always said that people are like, we need online career mode. I said no. They need to fix what's in the game now.
Yeah.
Get that all
strong
sorted.
Foundations. Like, mate, how many people say, let's have online career mode? Could you imagine online career mode with the broken game that we got now?
Not at all.
Oh my goodness.
Not at all.
That would be it. I mean, I'd still play it, but the amount of glitches that you would find...
Knowing EA, though, they wouldn't get it right. It'd be wrong. It wouldn't work.
No, yeah, you're probably right. It won't work. But...
yeah, like we said, we were talking about this at the start of the podcast, but everything that they've got in the game now could be improved heavily, and it all links together eventually. One thing links with another, and that links to another thing. You know, training links with youth academy links with a reserve squad links with your first team squad links with the scouting network. Your scouting network then goes back to your finances control the club. All in all, the whole basis of what's it even called now? Is it manager mode or is it career mode? Because I know back in the day it used to be manager mode.
It's still career mode, but it's like you enter career mode and then you get chose between manage career and player career.
I think they really need to. I think it should just go back to manager mode, but I don't understand like career mode. Why would they change the name of it from manager mode? Maybe I literally have no idea. Yeah.
Maybe because they added the player aspect, so it's like
but the thing is though, they used to have the player manager career mode where you could be the manager but have your own like pro in the team. Do you remember I think it was like FIFA 12 there used to be 3 options instead of just the 2?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Which was player manager.
Yeah, it was player manager. Yeah. But cool. The managers, that's another thing we could talk about. No customization, no like there's like the same 9 managers. That's what there was. Why can you not be the real manager?
No idea.
Why can I not be Jurgen Klopp?
Why don't managers move about?
Yeah, that would be another cool thing. Yeah, they could really work on like the news and the whole world story aspect, couldn't they, of like the whole football scenarios. Think about how interesting it'd make each other saves. Like, say, how many seasons you into the Macclesfield save now?
Oh, about 4.
4. Like, imagine if I don't know. I'm guessing you started your save at the start of the game, didn't you? So say like Conte, he's like been sacked. Yeah. Conte's been sacked, and there's rumours that they're gonna go after a young manager, someone from like the Championship, etc.
Yeah.
They might be after Cutzy, and they make a massive deal about it, and then he's other managers are linked, like Zidane's linked, and then Zidane goes to Chelsea, and that can have an effect on the players that they sign and how good they possibly get, or how how far they fall.
Yeah, man, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, I think they've just lost the immersion.
I just don't get why they don't do manager moves. It might be a licensing problem, but
yeah, possibly.
Beats me, mate. Beats me.
Surely though, I mean, in career mode, it's all just names. It's still just text and photos. Yeah. I'm not too sure yet. It could possibly be that it'd have to be something that would. You'd have to know. Talk to who knows.
Are very, very low on the list.
Oh yeah, it's just one of them little things, though, isn't it?
Get an in-game editor in it.
Yeah, you know what I've always thought about?
Everything.
Maybe if you know how you can start a player career mode and retire. What I've always thought is maybe if like you started a player career mode with like Wayne Rooney, say, and then you retired, do you become the man? Because you can go into manager career. I'm sure you used to be able to start a manager career after you retired as a player in player career. So what happens?
That's cool.
What happens if you're Wayne Rooney? Does your manager like become Wayne Rooney? Like, you know, when you go into the negotiations, is Wayne Rooney sat there? I mean, that's something I've probably got to test out because I haven't seen anything about it. But I just had a brainwave about it the other day, thinking, like, does that work or
go for it?
Yeah, because that would be
I
quite
hope
cool.
that works. Actually, yeah, that would be quite cool.
I just don't see. Cool. I don't see why it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you were playing as Wayne Rooney, then you retired, and they're like, select the manager. Like, no, I want to be Wayne Rooney. That's a really cool way to start a bit of a road to glory career mode. If any of you are struggling, start a player career mode, retire, and then it just gives you like a bunch of random teams that you can go with. But this is like from my experiences a couple of FIFAs ago. I haven't tried it recently, so it might be way different. And I'm just talking about a load of shit.
I never do play career, so I'm not.
Yeah, I've never played play career. I just literally started one before to just see what clubs you'd get. I might do that after, just like go and have a little experiment.
Yeah, that. I might do that as well. And obviously, I'll leave you to that because obviously that was your fault. So credit to you. So if you wanna send that out on Twitter and get it to bang, then go on, lad.
That'll be the second thing I have to trademark. Me and Niran were talking about something in the first episode, and I was like, yeah, that needs to happen. But I completely forgot what it is.
An idea.
Yeah. How long are we going to go on for, Curtis? Because we could talk about so much. I think we're going to have to do a part 2.
Do we need to put... Nah. Carry on, man. Carry on.
Carrying on.
Sonic, go on, lad. Go on.
It's going to...
And to be fair, like... What did we want to talk about? We said we were listing off things. We've literally touched everything apart from Dare to Dream and maybe a couple more questions on Twitter.
Yeah. Let me look on Twitter then, because...
We can squeeze them out in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Let's have a look. I hope you guys are enjoying this listen. Terrible English. I'm feeling the... I'm going to have to go have a coffee or something. I'm feeling it now.
I feel you saying that you feel it.
You're just sat there listening to me going, what are you saying?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Which is better.
We've lost it.
Literally, it started off so well, and now everyone's just like, what are these two on about? Like, guys, it's 1:30 in the morning, okay?
It is.
We've been going for over 2 hours.
The most amazing thing is that Patrick said, how long have you got? And I was like, about an hour.
Hey, long podcasts are because of great hosts. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yes. What a host. Round of applause for
Hey.
the host. Go on, lad. Amazing.
Are you mocking me?
Oh, what? I would never do such a thing.
FIFA.
There's many times that I do, maybe.
FIFA Career Mode Tips asked a couple of questions, which we've already touched on some of these. He said, "Do you actually like the gameplay this year?" And I was going to ask you about this. Are you using any sliders at the minute?
Right, I like the gameplay apart from time finishing and the fact that it hits the post a lot. We're talking Woodwork hits of
a few times a game.
Way too frequent. Last episode, the episode that I just uploaded, four times.
Yeah, there was 2 in one game, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah. 5 games I played, 4 times I hit the Woodwork. That is... What? Like, just tone it down a bit, man. Just tone it down.
Maybe you just need to, get better at shooting.
Yeah.
Well, you players.
Cool. Maybe I'm just a bottle job. That's it. It's an absolute bottle job of just hitting the post. Just yes.
It's like you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. What was the other question?
Do you have faith in EA Sports ever making career mode great again?
Oh right. I have faith that some people want to make career mode good.
Some people want to, but whether it happens is a completely different question.
I might sound like I'm beating around the bush a little bit, but
So basically, guys, Curtis has got friends at EA and he's trying to be nice.
It's all like it's shrouded in haze.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what's going on. They took my notes. I made like a 2-page document, 3-page document. I can't remember how long it was. It took me took me like 18 hours to write this thing.
I did read.
They took that.
Scroll through it.
They took that. I'm sure they took BMO's suggestions. I think they took JCC's on the Pro Club side. So they are taking these suggestions in. It's just whether or not they do anything, because EA are a publicly listed company, and as much as the development team might want to do something,
it's all money.
It's all money based.
Yeah, it's a business. Me and Naran said this. After Zyro and Corey, it goes from being the game and something we all want to improve and enjoy to how much money can we make. You know, it's the people. It's the people at the top who are getting the big paychecks are the ones that are going to say, "Yeah, let's invest this here, invest that there." So
they're the ones making the decisions, and the people passionate at the bottom might go to them. I don't know how it works.
Which is why I think the pinnacle would be FIFA Manager on the console, career mode with the same gameplay as the most updated FIFA Ultimate Team, whatever they decide to do. And they invest, you have to pay for the game, they invest the money into the team that are going to the best developers, you know, the best, I wouldn't say storyline producers, but maybe nab a couple of people from Sports Interactive that work on Football Manager, people from Pro Evolution.
How about this? What if you make
the community
full
involved?
FIFA experience? What if you make the full FIFA experience a free-to-play game, however, each segment is a pay-in? So you
what, as in like FIFA is like FIFA? It's just FIFA, like Fortnite and Apex.
No. Listen. So FIFA 20 comes out and it's a free game. So you download FIFA 20, but to go into to unlock Ultimate Team is £20. Therefore, that £20 goes into the development of Ultimate Team. If you want to unlock Career Mode, £20. That £20 goes into the development of Career Mode. Pro Clubs, £20. Obviously, registered retail price, I think that's RRP, that's what it stands for, is £60 for that video game. So, and they've got 3 big game modes that they're going to go with, presumably, unless they do a follow-up to the journey, which no one wants.
I don't think they are. I think they're done with that.
Yeah, so why
huge
don't we just
success, EA. Congrats.
Why don't they just go 2020? Like 2020. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's £60 altogether if you want all in, and it shows just how much development should be on each game mode. Yeah. And you've still got that extra development for Ultimate Team through the people buying the packs.
Yeah, the microtransactions.
Exactly. That's what really should be.
Basically, someone's getting rich somewhere and they don't care.
Yeah, someone's getting seriously rich.
Yeah, seriously rich. And the final point, or the question is if career mode stays the same for the upcoming years, how long do you think you will continue to do YouTube? Tough one.
Well,
you never really know, do you?
I'll continue to do YouTube. It's just it won't. I don't think it'll be long. If it's the exact same game, I don't think it will be long until I move off it to do Football Manager or something else. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that they're not going to make. They're going to make sure that the real big problems in FIFA 19 are fixed. They have to. It is a ludicrous game. It is absolutely broken. I think it's actually worse than FIFA 16 because of just how broken it is. At least FIFA 16 worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was an awful gameplay experience, but at least it worked.
Yeah.
Like, FIFA 19 is about as bad as we're going to get it. And if they don't do anything with the game, then they're in serious bother.
I mean, it says something. People were talking about, in December, January. We're in February now. Everyone they're talking about the new game already.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like, I had so much hate for the people who beta test this stuff, like FIFA, because I thought like the information about how broken the game wasn't getting to the dev team quickly, but I've got a different perspective on it now, because I feel like maybe some of the beta testers are trying to send that message, but it's falling on deaf ears. Like JCC, who does the Pro Club stuff, has said about certain problems in Pro Clubs for the entire year.
Yeah, and it's never ever been touched.
Hardly anything has been touched, yeah. And then there's the ethnicity problem. I don't know how deep grained in FIFA it is. It might be like seriously in the coding that they have to go. If it is, then it's not getting fixed this FIFA. No chance of getting fixed this FIFA. However, have that communication with your fans. We screwed up. We're sorry. We'll make sure that this ethnicity problem is not the same in FIFA 20. That, for me, would be good enough, because it makes me look forward to FIFA 20 not being as broke.
Yeah, no, just one thing, they're like, yes, hopefully, you know, we can go into FIFA 20, you know, knowing that ethnicities aren't going to be broke, and they'll fix that, but then something else will be broke.
Yeah, and it's like, how many times is it going to be like, the regens of certain positions are completely off? You get 6'7" wing backs, yet your centre back's 5'2". Like, who's making this? What is going on? Why is this a thing? Are we okay?
Yeah, I think what I'd like is to just, like I said earlier, just have that little sit down, just vent. Maybe we should like make it like have a YouTuber blah blah meet up. And we should have like a 20-man podcast, and we'll all go somewhere, and we'll just sit and talk about FIFA for like 8 hours straight, and we'll go, look, here you go, EA, send them a video.
By the end of it, we'll have like this idea of what FIFA should be like in the future, like this really concrete
plan. Not just we want this in the next game, we want this in the next game. It's like how you can develop.
Yeah, we're talking about proper development of the game through years.
Yeah.
And what needs to be tweaked now, what needs to be tweaked in the future, what needs to be sorted out, fixed, and then
because obviously there's going to be a lot of variables in it as well. You know, development time, you know, the amount of people that could develop it, and then, you know, especially in career mode, it goes down to like artists, things like that. They've got to make the visual images for everything.
The last thing that I want them to do is announce a big feature for career mode this year, right? And then we get into the game and it's broken, but it's got a big feature.
Yeah.
I mean, like, oh, it's great that it's got this big feature, but the rest of the game is still broken, and I don't want to play it.
Yeah, I really think that they, hopefully with Corey and Zyro, of how open they are, they can really get the especially the game changes in quite early this year, and really sort the game out from everyone's perspective.
Like, obviously, a lot of things are under wraps. I can't say much, but I know that certain communications have been had, and they want our input. They want our input, and that's brilliant. They want to know what we want to do with the game. I've said to them that woodworks need to be a lot less hit. Time finishing needs to get in the bin. Said they're my own word. It needs to go. It needs to be removed completely. Also, that my ideas for the future, they've had that for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how little or how much it's going to change things in the long run. But I'm sure it's of comfort. Yeah, I'm sure it's of comfort for the viewers or listeners to this, knowing that people are trying to make this game better. People are seriously trying, and it's not only us. I seriously think them community managers, they get a lot of crap thrown at them on Twitter and that, but they are the ones that want to see this game better. They because obviously it'll reflect on them.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't take the job if they didn't have a passion or any interest in it.
Mm-hmm. Like if they can say we need to do this, this, and this to career mode. And then if they implement it well, it would generate so much buzz for the game, and it reflects well on them community managers, and them community managers might then be promoted into bigger and better positions. Obviously, like, you always want to further your career.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like,
where you can go.
Zara. I don't know what Corey and Zara want to do for the future, but I'm sure that there's better staff roles in EA that they might have an eye on.
Yeah, well,
and
obviously
of course,
not getting abused on Twitter is a great start.
Yeah, and of course, like, if that can happen by doing really well at your current job, I know, like, EA like to promote in-house, so it's of their best interest to do a good job as a community manager, because better things could be on the horizon for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure the guy who was in charge of FIFA when they brought in Ultimate Team and the packs is now the head of FIFA. Is now the head of EA. He's the CEO. He runs it all.
He's got to be.
I think he's Andrew. I'm gonna say House, but I don't know if it is. But they like to promote inside their own company because they trust. Yeah,
it's just the way that they work.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure it's a little bit cheaper as well, recruitment wise. But once again, like, if I was working for that company, I would always try and better myself. I wouldn't go, oh yes, community manager, this is the life. This is the be all and end all of my career. There's loads of people up higher than them.
Yeah.
So if they really had a passion for the game, you'd want to go as high as possible to improve the game.
Yeah, which is
if
why
they were serious about it.
It's why we can. I think everyone struggles to understand why it's so. I'd say, like, it's just a bit of a stale part, isn't it? It's a bit of a stale time for FIFA at the minute because, especially for career mode, nothing much has really been changed. But
yeah,
they have added little things that have just not worked. So it's like someone's suggesting things to be done somewhere, but maybe it's not really, the right thing, or it's not going in the right direction.
I predicted that it was going to be a boring year. I predicted a lot of things right for FIFA recently. I've surprised myself, but I predicted it was going to be a boring year because they put so much effort into getting that Champions League rights. So I thought they're probably going to run with this for the summer. I still thought they were going to, like, add a couple more things into career mode. I didn't think that was going to be the be all and end all. I was shocked when it was the be all and end all, but I wasn't surprised. Yeah. What I thought they were going to do this year is stabilise the game. Just
that would have been nice, yeah.
Get it
ready
fixed.
For something.
Yeah, get it as fixed as possible so the next iteration, FIFA 20, which is the big one, we all know that they work in 3-year cycles, it's ready for it. Now, they've got the pressure of the 3-year cycle coming up. Everybody is expecting career mode to be better. It is so pressured now. Yeah. That situation is big time. If they don't deliver a solid experience with extra features now, then people are going to complain.
Even the hardcore players are going to start going away from the game as well.
Yeah, because this is it. Like, if they come in and say, this is FIFA 20, it's all fixed, that is not good enough now. We've had what, 4 or 5 years of basically the same game. For it to be fixed after 5 years is not good enough. So it has to be fixed and new features. It should have been FIFA 19 fixed and then add new features FIFA 20.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, it's a while till Gamescom and all them, but when we start hearing stuff, it'd just be nice to hear something regarding career mode.
We'll get hints
out the mouth.
We will definitely get hints about what is going into career mode before Gamescom. 100%.
The thing is, most of what we hear quite early is all gameplay and aesthetic stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that need changing and fixing and improving in career mode are all, obviously like menu based.
Yeah.
So obviously, if they were going to explain what they've done, it'd have to be someone coming out on stage and talking at their the EA or the FIFA conference saying, so regards to career mode, this is what we've done this year. And they go on a load of bollocks about how we want to immerse you with the real Champions League logo and ball.
Yeah, it's a lot. They do talk a lot of crap in there.
Yeah, it's like, stop bullshitting, get the guys that can really have an impact in the game, and just be honest. Just say, this is what we fix. You don't have to go to a conference and be like, oh, we've got the Champions League for career mode.
Yeah.
You can just tweet the stuff out.
I think it was at Gamescom that they announced that there was something big on the horizon for career mode. And I was like,
wow.
I retweeted it as like a joke saying it's going to be Champions League. Even though we already knew it was we already knew Champions League was coming to FIFA 19. And sure enough, it was like a 15-minute presentation of the Champions League. And it was like, are you joking? Are you actually taking the mick? We already knew that this was in the game, but what? And them presentations are a load of crap anyway, because...
Oh yeah, they're full, they're proper, they're proper business, aren't they?
The people who, present it as well, they haven't touched a FIFA game in, ever, maybe ever. And it's just
imagine how cool it would be. Obviously, I know that the press conferences are quite media based and just getting the game out there, selling it. But how cool would it be? Maybe I'm not too sure what the press conference and Gamescom and gaming. I don't know what they're called. How you have the one in Germany.
Gamescom.
You have Gamescom, and then you have EA have the press conference, and then you have E3. How cool would it be for maybe EA to have their press conference at Gamescom or whatever, and then them have a couple of content creators go out there to come on after and maybe do a half an hour stream, actually talking real FIFA stuff, not marketing bullshit. The 50-year-old Mike has to come on stage and revise what he's going to say to all these corporate people sitting in the audience.
Burnt all the way through the company though, because if you even the one-on-ones they have with the one-on-one chats they have with websites that are more in-depth FIFA knowledge in terms of
At IGN normally have quite a good article on the new FIFA, and I'm sure I read one. It might not have been IGN, but I definitely read one when FIFA 19 stuff got released, and the guy who wrote it was brutally honest, saying the lack of career mode additions was just embarrassing.
Yeah, but IGN is part of the problem here. IGN and other reviewers that give FIFA a good score year after year just because it's the best football game.
Yeah.
That is a problem, because it's it's the same game.
Yeah,
and everybody knows it's the same game, but yet they're giving them a good score because it's the best football game. Really?
It's the only football game.
It could be the best of its kind, but it still could be terrible, IGN. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's taking the mick, but I think some cash underhand happens at that
that level,
reviewing company. I don't know about all the way through the reviewing industry, but I think IGN maybe has a bit of a problem somewhere along the lines. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit IGN, but it wouldn't surprise me.
That's just conspiracy. Just
you never know.
It might happen. It might not.
You never know. If FIFA might just be the best football game out there on the market. You just never know.
And we're all wrong.
Yeah, we're all wrong. It's just opinions, guys. Okay, it's opinions.
Oh man.
Young Jane, 21-year-old reporter's just got the job. She's like, yeah, FIFA's great, 9.9 rating. Woo!
20 grand back at pocket, just I'm going to get myself a BMW. Yeah. Let's go.
We're not stereotyping, okay? We've done enough stereotyping this podcast.
Oh man.
All right, all in all, I asked this in around, are you excited for FIFA 20? Because forget FIFA 19. At the minute, I'm obviously, you're doing quite well on FIFA 19, but are you looking forward to FIFA 20 and what the future holds for FIFA, honestly, or career mode in general?
I'm moderately excited. I don't know what did Nurin answer?
Pretty much the same.
It's like so
cautiously optimistic.
I have hope, and it's more hope than knowledge at this moment in time.
You've got to have hope, haven't you?
Like, I don't know that the game's going to be any better. It's just that I hope the right people at that company, because yet again, I'll point out that there are right people in EA. They're not all devils.
Yeah.
I hope the right people are getting listened to. Because
it's hope versus expectation, isn't it?
Stocks count. Stocks matter, and the stocks for EA are plunging. And which game is the biggest seller for EA?
It's FIFA.
So, I mean, obviously they've had the Battlefield problem, and there's another game that has tanked, I think, but the Battlefield one's like a big oopsie. Oh, of course, the Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars! I don't even know why they made another Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I think Respawn have pulled it out the bag with Apex Legends, though. But then again, it's a free to play, so
they've pulled it out the fire, but they can't not be scared of what that plunge did to the company.
Yeah.
They got lucky with Apex. Apex might have been a failure, and the plunge still have happened. But I'm sure
it's a bit of a weird time for them to release it as well, don't you think? Like, don't you think it's a bit of a weird time for them to release it, Apex Legends?
No, I think they'll have seen the success of Fortnite and just gone, we need to make one of them, and just made it as quick as possible. Just put it out there
as soon as I suppose it's
not even thinking about it. Just get it out there.
Yeah, they've just winged it, and they've just got very lucky.
No, I wouldn't say winged it. I'm sure there would have been like massive thought put into it, because they wanted to. Of course, they would understand how much of a cash cow Fortnite is, so they'd try and make it as good as possible. It's just that they wouldn't have thought of a release date or anything, because they just needed it out there to compete with every other battle royale that's out there at the moment.
Yeah, I've played it. I quite enjoy it. It's definitely refreshing. Whether it goes the distance and keeps the same retention as Fortnite does, then we'll just have to wait and see down the line.
Yeah.
But I don't. To be honest, Curtis, I've got nothing else to say really.
Death Dream.
Death Dream. Sorry, we'll talk about that. So, any of you guys that are listening to Football Manager fans, you've built up quite a what would the word be? Database. Yeah, you've built quite a database, haven't you, for the Djibouti?
So I'll give the little background on that.
Yeah, just explain basically what it is, because I'm sure there might be a couple of people that have.
Of course.
They're a little bit unsure.
So there was a standalone 2014 game that came out on EA for the World Cup on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox. I did a series called Dare to Dream with Djibouti, and then we kind of like developed it into its own thing on Football Manager. So we moved it to a different game altogether, and instead of playing with the national team, I decided to develop a league for it, and it started as 32 custom teams, and then soon became 40, and then I think the next one was 50. Eventually it goes up to 64, and then 70. Pretty sure the last one that I released was 96 teams, with 4 or 5 divisions, and we've put it up. We'll eventually. It's not out just yet, but it's really close. Putting it up to 110 teams. So that's way more than actually like the professional leagues in England. So there's been a lot of work put into it.
These have all been. Everything's been custom made, hasn't it? Badges,
custom made. To a
kits.
certain degree. I've like grabbed images here and there. I'm not aiming to like make it profitable, because it's some of it definitely is my own work. Some of the badges, it's took a hell of a long time to produce. But it was more like a community thing, just a nice, enjoyable thing that you can like download and
just have a go at. Yeah. It's
immerse yourself in like this weird, strange world.
This the new database that you're bringing out. I've seen it. Have you got like 6 cups in it now as well?
There's 9 cups.
9 cups. Sorry.
So there's 5 regional cups, and then a cup, like a super cup for the regional cups, and then a charity shield, like type thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously your FA Cup. And I think I've covered that. And then obviously there's just 6 divisions.
It's just crazy, honestly. Like I can remember you tweeting some like concept kits for some of the clubs like a year or 2 ago. After you just maybe when you've partly done one of the databases, and you need to get them into bloody production, mate.
Yeah, some of them are amazing. The ones that have come out for Dare to Dream in the last 2 years have all been made by my community. So I've got a part of my Discord that like to design the kits, and I just leave it up to them. I give them the badges. I design the badges first, give them the badges, and then concentrate on the database. Whilst I'm concentrating and building the database, they'll slowly be making the kits up. And some of the kits that come out, oh my god.
Yeah, it just
makes it
honestly,
amazing.
I'm a big fan of Adidas, and some of the Adidas ones I've seen, I'll try and get a few pictures on the screen if I can. Some of them are just lovely. I'd wear them out.
Yeah,
I'm a big
amazing.
fan of kits, yeah. I do want to get into kit collecting as well.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'm presuming it's a very expensive hobby.
Yeah,
but
yes.
It would be like kits are a fundamental part of like your memories of a season.
Yeah,
it's all
BT
about,
have got a really good series at the minute, and it's called What I Wore.
Yeah,
if you haven't checked it out, then definitely check it out.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've not watched it. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
One more thing that I want to touch on about is that when I was a kid, I always wanted to make like a league. I would do like AI versus AI on FIFA, just like a knockout league of like real teams. But it then got to a stage where like, oh, I wish I could do my own league. Like just kid thoughts, just like random ideas.
You get a notepad and just write down like loads of random stuff. Yeah, I used to do that.
And it was just a dream or like a thought, just a wish that I had a league, and now I kind of do. And people religiously support teams.
Yeah, some people appreciate the effort. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing. And the one of the guys that I was talking about earlier about the ethnicity problem, Jake, I talked to him a lot. And he's like, you're probably within like the top 5 English people who know a lot about Djibouti. I might now know too much about Djibouti to not make it a career. Just like British ambassador to Djibouti.
For Djibouti, yeah.
Just like, hi.
Foreign affairs with Djibouti.
Oh mate, that'd be good.
So when you're looking at getting it on, I'm guessing it's going to go on Steam.
On Steam. I think it'll be done soon. The question is, when do you think this podcast is going out?
Probably sometime like within next week, so Monday to Friday. Probably later on in the week.
If I get it done before that, can you put a cheeky link in the description?
Oh yeah, I'll be putting all of your links in the description anyway.
Yeah, so anybody who like subscribes to Patrick, if they want to give this a go on Football Manager, do it.
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of people that watch my streams have literally stopped playing FIFA and switched to Football Manager.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely give it a go. Personally, I can't. I love the concept of Football Manager. It's just not for me. I can't stick to it, and the control of the players that you have in FIFA just grabs me.
That's it, isn't it?
I just love it.
That's the biggest attraction to any football game, being able to play with the players.
Yeah.
And unless Football Manager develops a proper playable engine, then they'll never get that.
If they that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. This is the time. This is the iron is hot for Football Manager. Strike. Do it. Get everything ball rolling. If it doesn't work out, just pull it away. But like seriously, you could really take a chunk out of FIFA right now.
Yeah.
And even though Football Manager is succeeding, it's not succeeding on the same levels, mate.
Yeah.
Like there's different levels. Football Manager, say it's different divisions. They're not in the same league, right? Football Manager might be League One. FIFA, obviously, Premier League, in terms of, like, how much money they make.
PES Conference.
Of course, yes. Yes. Why did we even say that? I thought that was common knowledge there, Patrick. No, mate, look, they could make a real big chunk. They could get people like you who are really interested in the whole concept of Football Manager to properly switch over.
Yeah.
Like there'll be loads of them people.
I could probably tell you 10 names right now who I know would be into that.
Yeah.
Because like people, like, I really enjoyed the whole reason why I like career mode is I enjoyed the manager aspect, like, you know, taking control of the team, signing players. That's what most people play career mode for, and to progress with a club. Yeah. So if you take all of them statistical approaches and just the depth that Football Manager goes into, and then gives you control of the team as well, it'd be a game changer. Honestly, would.
Of course, yeah. It'd be just like, even if it was like if it was terrible graphically and might have played a little bit bad, it still would be better than FIFA because look at what Football Manager is, and it's got a playable engine. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
It would. It'd be a market crasher.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see how they'd market that. Even
more so if they announced it for consoles.
Oh, I think that's really pushing the boat out.
But this is what I'm saying, though. This is if they're ever going to do it, this should be the time where they're trying to attack FIFA.
We'll see. We might have to ask...
It's either they stay a management sim and accept that they're never going to get FIFA's sales, or they go, look, there is a space here. We can really shift market.
Or do you reckon they're waiting for a really, really rich investor to come and say, look, right, your game's great, but let's take it to the next level, and go to another company and say, look, can you build an engine? Or, you know...
I'm really not too sure.
We'll see.
It'd be amazing if they just... If FIFA Football Manager partnered up, that'd be...
Even if Economy... obviously Economy Japanese. Korean.
Yeah.
Asian. Yeah, there's some of that Asian, aren't they? So it's very...
Yeah, so you got...
It's not very likely they're going to link with a British company.
Games, football games of every single corner of the world, isn't it? Like, we got the British company in Football Manager, we got a Canadian company in Electronic Arts, and then the... is Konami Korean or
I'm
Japanese?
sure they're Asian of some sort, yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like, proper Eastern Asia?
Yeah, they're like, let's get the Asian Champions League in the game. Yeah, so.
But it's like it's even interesting at that level that the fact that all like the three big players on FIFA games are so far spread apart.
Yeah, just in football in general, everyone's got like
in geography.
Good at something. Yeah, as well. Everyone's good at. Each of them are good at something in their own.
Yeah.
In their own, in their own way, but. I don't know. Are we going to call that a cut there?
I'm really happy with that. I thought it was going to be more mistakes on my part. I'm never one to do things live. I hate it. I hate doing live streams, but that was mint. I really enjoyed that.
Well,
and it's all thanks to you, Patrick, for making me so comfortable and welcome, mate.
No, it's hopefully that's how it can be with everyone. I'm not gonna title it, but I should title it like Cutzy Uncensored.
Beautiful.
But no, it's been good. We've had a really good chat. I mean, it's like 3 hours, so hopefully you've enjoyed. If anyone's listened to this straight through, fair play.
Imagine.
Fair play.
Titanic performance by the lads.
If not, then make sure you're pausing it and you're going exactly to the point, because everything we said is interesting, okay?
Yeah.
And you should listen to everything. If you've got any questions, if you've got any suggestions on who we should get on next to talk more career mode, if you just want to tell us what your thoughts are on some of the things we spoke about today, then let me know in the comments below. I'm sure Curtis will be having a quick scroll through.
Yeah, of course,
and obviously replying to a few of you. So yeah, thank you for coming on, Curtis. If you haven't checked him out,
it's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
No, I appreciate your honesty, and it has gone very, very smoothly. Apart from my break where I needed to run to the toilet, but yeah, you won't have known about that. So yeah, check him out, guys. I'll leave his Twitter. If the Djibouti database is up for FM, then I'll leave a link to that in the description box as well. And yeah, thank you for coming on. Hopefully you've enjoyed.
Been brilliant. Been great.
Thank you very much for listening. We're going to try and get the podcasts up on iTunes and or Spotify soon. I know a few of you guys were asking that in the comment section of the first episode, but I think that will come with time. Once we've got a couple on the go, it's probably easier to put a few on at a time than try and start one and put one on and then two on. But yeah, apart from that, leave a like if you enjoyed, drop a comment, make sure to vote in the poll as well. When we were talking about what you'd prefer to have back into FIFA, either the Creation Centre or Curtis, what were we talking about?
The Creation Centre, all that other thing.
Visual Sim. That was it.
Alright, sound. Yeah, it might have been Visual Sim,
Yeah, I'm sure it was Visual Sim. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. I'll see you all next time.
Men, that was great.